Are we live? Hit me with the 5 by 5 if you can hear me. Are we alive? We've got a killer show for you. We've got some fun people in the chat, waiting backstage. 5 by 5. Excellent. Okay. Everybody ready to rock? And are we ready to get organized? You know, the irony here is that it takes organization to throw one of these things, and we were getting organized here into the last minute, and then a few minutes into the scheduled live stream. And so, welcome. Thank you guys for joining us. Like I said before, Mr. Chubby Hubby is here, and Beth Ellen Nagel is here as well. Good to see you. We have hellos from Romania all the way out there, and from the train, apparently. How cool is that? So have a good time going toot toot down the rails there. Everybody take a deep breath. It's time for us to get organized and time for us to see some pretty rocks. And Opal Guy has a great point here. Was drooling over there at Wild Hearts live sale. So, y'all, we've got this going on here. And of course, we were all trying to make sure that you were not unentertained this weekend with so many of the channels out and about having fun in Idaho and other fun places for the holiday weekend. So not only did we organize this here Makers Bunch, but we also, there is a great live sale going on over at Wild Hearts channel as well. So there's plenty of eye candy for both of your eyeballs and some stimulation for your mind. If you're interested in garnering some solutions for some of the hassles you have going on in your studio. So that is what we are thinking about and talking about, and hopefully conquering our solutions to the organization issues. So Scott Argyle is here with a 5 by 5. Isn't it a gorgeous day in the neighborhood? It's absolutely fabulous out here on the Oregon coast. It's a gorgeous sunny day. I believe it says it's supposed to be 63, but I don't believe them. I would say it's more like 70 out there. Winds, if you're not in the lee of the wind, maybe a little chillier. That could be the answer on how cold they're advertising. And Allison is here. Good to see you. That's the one with the 1L. The other Allison, but I don't like that nomiker so much. Like we'll have to figure out something else. Kid Curry is here. Hey, buddy, how's your boat? Boat's ablaze in there in the hello. And we've got another piece of news here that Opal Guy is saying there's a chance of aurora in the northern states tonight and tomorrow night. So I hope that you get some rainbows scattered among your hair follicles this eve while you're dreaming. That will be beautiful. I'll be keeping an eye out. Thanks for that. And we've got going to Bahia Mare, a mining town, our last rock hounding venture on this year. Fantastic, Romania. Can't wait until you share the beauty of what you might be finding today. How exciting. Thank you for bringing us along on the train, at least verbally. That's awesome. Thank you. And yeah, we're having great weather, says Scott. And that's me, says Allison. And an increased chance. Yeah, it's funny how sometimes they don't know exactly, but then we end up with it. They might not tell us that we're going to get it and we get it, and they might tell us that we are and we don't. So it's that thing. Kid Curry is saying that the motorboat is 5x5 today. Excellent. And so, what we do have going on for you today, like I said, is the storage solutions. We've got some channels that have joined us already, and then we have some channels that may be able to drop in on us. Depending on all the technical excitement that we always do have when we try to do live streams. So let's bring our first guest to the stage. We've got Mahnee here, the Mahnee from Australia. How are you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Not coming in too hot, am I?
No, you sound great. And I love that your lap seems to be well loved by a bunch of birds.
Yep. Yeah, it's just a nervous habit I get into. I get a piece of paper and it just turns into something. So, yeah, lots of fun. I like origami.
Now,
I'll,
you do know that I did say organization, not origami.
ah,
Oh no! Wrong live
First
stream.
one out of the stable.
Just kidding. So I thought I would start off each of the
Whoa!
channels. Oh, there you are. Hi.
How's it going, guys?
It's so good to see the you being a fabulous bird as well as the birds that you have folded.
Caw, caw.
Well,
Coffee's
welcome.
kicking in.
I'm sorry, what?
I said the coffee's kicking in.
Nice. Yeah, cheers to you. Here we go.
It's actually quite early in the morning here in Australia, so
We've got the afternoon going on and I still need a few more shots. And so there's some nice shots of coffee in here. Cheers to everybody. And so I thought I would start off each one of the channels coming on with the same question. So those of you that are still out there, listen up because I'm going to ask you next. But I would love to know, what is your nemesis with your studio organization? What's the big nemesis?
space. My studio space is my living space, is my everything space at the moment. So I'm in a 9 meter by 3 meter studio. I do have outside space. I've got plenty of that. I'm on 1.5 acres. But inside space is a whole different story. And as you may see in some of the photos coming up, I have reached absolute critical mass. The background has got a little bit of an indication of that critical mass. I just wish this place was like the TARDIS, but it's not.
Boy, do I hear you loud and clear. And I know that we're having a bunch of, hands go up in the viewers too. Like, yep, that's me. Because I did notice Mr. Chubby Hubby was saying during the chat before that I was like, share your studio hacks too. And he was like, if I had one. So I think a lot of people, their living space is their studio.
Yeah.
Y'all are in the same TARDIS.
I've been in that boat for a lot of years too. Like every place I've ever lived in, my bedroom has been my studio basically. So, or my lounge room has been my studio. So, I'm used to it. But yeah, now that I've got a little bit more space on the outside, it's like and also like the seasonal thing as well too. Like this space is great in the winter, but come summertime, I think I've posted a few high record temperatures that my studios reach, like in the 45 degrees Celsius range, and it's like, yeah, way too hot. So
Indeed.
that's another factor that you got to kind of take into consideration as well too.
That's an interesting factor to bring up, the nemesis even could be seasonal changes that destroy, if you have an outdoor studio, like a lot of us love to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, we get cold here, but not as cold as you guys over there. So, like, you're on the other end of that spectrum. Like, I've heard of people's machines freezing up with the water, and yeah, like all sorts of nightmarish sort of things like that. So, like we're lucky we don't have that sort of situation. But the other end of that is, things fall off the docks here. When
Right.
it gets that hot. I had a funny little situation where I was faceting and I was chasing a facet, and every time I'd push the quill down on the putter, it moved the stone just a little bit more because it was
Oh.
that hot. Yeah. I ended up
Oh my
whittling away
gosh, it was
the stone
melting
to
your
nothing. I was
wax.
like, the next day I kind of worked it out. I was like, it's just too hot in here. So
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate around saying hello to all of the channels, and then I'll bring you back and we can see some of the pictures that you were sharing with me over in the chat, eh? Sound good?
awesome.
And Ellison is also saying my studio is my dining table. So we have
Yep.
a lot of
Yeah, that's the best.
commiseration.
That's that can be a good space as long as no one wants to have dinner.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, there are two projects that are occupying my dining room table at this very moment in time. So, yeah, I mean, even if
TV
you have,
dinners.
yeah, if you have studio, you still might, be taking over the rest of the house. Anywho, and
True story.
I'm gonna bring on Ryan to join us here in the party. Hey, Ryan, how's it going?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
I can
Yep.
hear you.
Okay. I almost
Good to see
forgot
you.
it before the start here with the lapel mic. I needed something to actually be able to hear you, so I had to scramble to get that taken care of. But glad it all works.
Oh yeah, like having the ear monitor is kind of important, huh?
Yeah.
um,
Otherwise, I won't be able to hear you over the machine noise when it's running. So it
right.
is going to
Well,
make
what's
it a
kind of
little. It is going to make it a little harder for me to mute, but I'll try to remember to do it because I have to do it on my phone instead of just
gotcha.
lifting the mic up. So.
Right. Yeah. I could just see you just like kind of free for all in it and just, talking when you want. Like just
Yeah,
going for it.
it's kind of like my lap-at area. I don't think things through and kind of have to improvise as I go along.
Yeah, it's all good. And Romania is saying dinner is served on rocky slabs. Yes, that sounds like a good kitchen table kind of situation, huh? Whoa. Hey. Whoa. I thought everybody just needed a little bit of FaceTime there. And so absolutely not accidental. So what I wanted to start everybody off with was what is your nemesis with your studio organization, Ryan?
I would have to say my biggest nemesis with organization is me not being an organized person. I
Oh
mean, and
my.
honestly, and just I've never had that bug. You can probably see it in the house. You can see it in the shop. So yeah, just to be brutally honest, I'm not one of those organizers. I don't have that type to me. Uh, Unless I guess I'm more of the green blue as opposed to the red.
All right. Okay, so who's
But
got the
uh, but
cricket
it's
in their shop? Oh, I
Not
heard a
me.
cricket.
it's probably me because I can hear
Okay.
it. So. And
That's awesome though.
Right?
and as you can see, I am the one that is not lacking for space. And I kind of wished 20 years ago when I first bought my place I got a 30 by 40 shed, pretty high. The previous owners worked on semis in the shed. I kind of wish that I would have built on a second story work area,
like a mezzanine.
something other, because there's a lot of area. Would have had to do something with the lights because, one, I can't reach them now to even replace bulbs, but and then the giant doors that I would have had to work around. But it might have been nice to be able to then organize a separate lapidary area, because you see I got, just looking around, I got a shared workspace with everything, so other hobbies and everything, so it's not just the, I can see I was a little pixelated when I have my PC in front of me, but
Yeah, you just have to slow down when if you want to pan and share stuff, but we would love to see. I think that's kind of the gravy of not only being able to see people's work today, but also, culling ideas from people's workspaces. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Is that slow enough?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect. And we're seeing a lot of fun tools to play with, and I'm getting that, we all probably need a little organization in our lives.
Yeah, I mean,
Although that's
I
looking
got
pretty good. I see some.
I got the shelves and everything, and this is what I was showing earlier. The space shares it with like the tractor, the lawnmower. So cleanliness is sometimes hard to do, but I could really get a big lap in the doors if I really
Oh
needed
yeah.
to.
Yeah, that's a big, whoa. It's big
Yeah,
dogs.
but
Yeah.
so yeah, and I guess on the other is just deciding, like on the rocks themselves, how to organize things. To begin with, when I didn't have many, and I was going through, I was kind of keeping them sorted by who or where I got them from. And but after a while, that gets to be a little hard to manage too, because you want the rocks. If I want to just come out to the shed real quick and grab something and work on it, it's nice to have the one box in there that that I might, like I have written on it, ready to cab. So whether it's smaller pieces, stuff I may have, written on or whatever. So, and then on top of it, coming down, with sometimes with the limited shop space or shop time because of some of my physical problems. When you come out here, you want to be kind of working and having fun, and so sometimes the organizing takes a backseat to that. So.
Yeah, and welcome in Jennifer, and welcome in Resort Dog. Resort Dog was saying space, shelves, and storage containers for the win. Space is
Yeah.
that big one. Yeah, big time, all capitals there. And then Romania is saying, I'm kind of all over the balcony in an organized disaster. And I think that also does embody some of our techniques here throughout.
That
And
comes under the sorting process, doesn't it? It's like inside rocks and outside rocks.
And
exactly.
as Mahnee was saying, about the hot and the cold, sometimes, even when you're looking at your storage containers, I'm going from, it can get to 100 Fahrenheit here in the summer and 20, 30 below in the shop in the winter.
Ouch.
And so you do kind of have to, as I found, work on a little bit of quality with the plastic containers that you get, because some of the real cheaper ones, they'll really start degrading and become brittle over time, and
Yep.
these probably will too, but it's kind of one of those considerations, and getting kind of organizers of all different types of sizes, because even here, like in the shed, and depending on also how many parts of the hobby you have, you get the lapidary, so the stuff with the cabbing machine. I also do rock tumbling, and other things like that. If you're into jewelry making, it just, the amount of things you have just adds up. And I don't have them all in one location, so that's a little
Right.
tough. You know, I just can't come out in one location and work on something from beginning to end. So.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, you know, I think that's a really good point. When you've got some different techniques about how you like to work on things, you know, from stage A, B, C, or do you take one thing and go all the way from beginning to end with you'd want to stay organized. And you know, it's funny right now. I think that the StreamYard is just arbitrarily deciding who gets to be in the middle. And so Kid Curry was saying
I got
somebody's
the
playing Wayne's World. You know, we're just going with this today. I'm not arguing with the interwebs at all. At least we're here. And once again, thanks you guys for coming and hanging out with us. And we have another channel here hanging out as well. So let's bring her on. We've got Miss Ma. Hello.
Woo. Howdy, Ma.
And she is actually muted. So she's probably telling us a bunch of really great stuff that we aren't hearing.
I wasn't talking to myself. What are you talking about?
Okay.
I just thought you were saying my hands are wet. I got the Fordham on.
Exactly.
I didn't know when Karen was going to call on me, so I was working.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm on.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Great.
Good.
Okay,
So
good to hear.
Looks like you have a cool thing that you're working on there.
Yeah, I'm making another little ring. I hope you can see it. I'm having a really hard time seeing my screen, but
Yep.
I have to shape it, but then after I'm done shaping it and polishing it, I have to take it apart and then put a stone in the hole. So I'm just working on getting it all shaped so I can finish polishing it, and then I'll take it apart and put the stone in the center.
Awesome.
And then I'm working on a little fossil for this is for squirrel.
Nice.
Can you see it? It's got some cool fronds on it, and so I'm making like a cab on the back and then kind of a specimen. I don't know which one is front, which is back. You tell me. But yeah, he just wanted to see how some of his shirt would polish up, and this stuff had this really cool pattern on it. So I decided to save that, and I won't be polishing over that. I'll just be touching up the edges around it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Nice. Those squirrel shirts are really, really exceptional. And
Yeah.
for those of you who are not haven't been watching to know what squirrel shirts might be, it's not something bad. It might be, but
Short
stay
name called
tuned, Ma.
squirts. They're squirts.
Ma, I'm going to ask you the big question, but really quick, I just wanted to say Blind Squirrel Rocks is one of the channels out there. A lot of the material that they find is on their land, and they are back east. So they have really, really old, fantastic, you know, like Pangea era fossils, and the cherts have these designs that go through them. Here, I'm going to bring Melissa back. There are horn corals and honeycomb corals and just these incredible fossils. The chert has all of these little microorganisms hanging out in it. And so not only are they very hard, so they take a beautiful polish, but when you do, it looks like nature did graffiti in there. It's
pretty
just
awesome.
all these really cool designs, and you know, like a long line with hatch marks in it, and who the heck did that? And just all of these different like almost looks like pictographs or petroglyphs from an ancient civilization, but it's nature doing it. It is just wild stuff.
Agreed.
Yeah. And so,
I
yeah,
have
there's
Wow.
some of that honeycomb, yum,
here.
yum. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, if you were gonna lick rocks, that would be one too.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Well,
Yeah, with the
beautiful.
7 mule.
and
Yeah, like,
Kid Curry was wondering if it's copper lights. I don't know. There might be some copper lights up in there. I wouldn't be surprised. So, Ma, while you're digging around and showing us all of this wonderful squirrel eye candy,
yeah.
what is your nemesis with studio organization?
It's space. I only have 6 by 12 feet, so it's space. I have lots of shelves. Um, it ends up being a little bit like I'll see if I can give you like the littlest. I don't know. I've tried. I'll try doing a tour thing here. So there's my flat lap. There's my cabber, and then it just becomes storage everywhere. And like my saw is right over there behind that disgusting screen. But just lots of shelves. And like over here, this is supposed to be my jewelry making area, but as you can see, it's where rocks have become piles of rocks.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's how it goes. And then this is the tray of chaos.
Oh,
This
you
is
were
where
you were
everything.
threatening to
I'm
show us this on Friday.
Yeah, it's just 100% whatever. I don't know where to put anything else. And I mean, there's cool stuff in here, but like
Mm.
some pyrotized Draculite. But it's kind of like where I put things that I want to work on soon. And then it also just becomes I have no other spot for this, so and then I've got some jewelry hanging up over here. So, yeah. That's it. It's a little space. So my challenge is 100% that I don't have much space.
Right. And you might also have like you kind of conquered your weather issues, but you have an outdoor studio too also, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in my parent I live behind my parents' house in my own house, but it's in their property. And I work in a section, like a one little sectioned off part of their outdoor patio. And I just lined the whole thing with moving blankets, like those insulated moving blankets, so that I could control the temperature. And I mean, I've got air conditioning and heat in here if I need it. So I'm good as far as that goes. It's just more, yeah, it's a space thing for me, not anything else.
So I think that it's really compelling because I know a lot of people have decided not to have a space to work in because they have limits. And I think both Mahnee and Yuma have decided not to make that be a limit. I'm
Oh
gonna go
no.
ahead and I'll figure out how to get ahead of the seasonal or
Right.
I can do this. And so I think that is kind of an inspiration. And if you're watching and this is one of the problems that you're having, then feel free to ask them questions in the comments or in the chat so that we can get you working too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, before I had this space, I worked in a tent. I worked in a tent for like 9 months. And I'll be honest with you, I loved it. It was a lot of space. It was a 10 by 10 area. The weather was
Awesome.
hard to control. When it was really windy, which it gets here a lot, it did kind of feel like my tent was going to blow away sometimes. So I don't miss that particular aspect, but I have to, I'm compelled to make things, so I had to make it work somehow.
I love that. Yeah, just the tenacity. Sometimes that has to be what your studio is founded on. Like
Right.
the actual foundation of your studio is standing on your absolute tenacity and refusal to say no for an answer.
Right. Yeah, I just couldn't help it. So here we are.
Have
And
space, will create.
yeah, right. Resort Dog
Right.
is saying that was one thing about doing the AZ shows each winter. I cleared all the top of my genie or pixie off into a Ziploc to get back to later. Oh my gosh, raise your hand if you've just cleared everything
Oh yeah.
into like a box or something, and then it's like,
Oh yeah.
oh, it becomes like the junk
Especially,
drawer.
especially on the saw. Like that happens with all my offcuts a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like
Oh
I
my
haven't
God.
even watched off. I've just been like, okay, this is getting bonkers, and I put it all in a box to deal with, later today. And I'm using air quotes because it's definitely a later thing that doesn't actually happen. It just lives in its dirt in the box on a shelf.
It lives in its dirt on a
Yep,
box in a shelf.
yep.
That's hilarious.
Being real. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just a great quote. Like if somebody heard that out of context, you just wouldn't know what in the world we were talking about, but it's so true. And so
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be able to, over the course of this time, research some of like what you do with your chaos kit there, and how we parse that into some sanity. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead.
It's just funny because I always feel like I don't have. It's like I'm like, where did all my offcuts go? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I threw them in that box that one time when I was changing the blade, and so I was like, I'll take this chance to clean the saw, and then they're just never seen again. And then I find these boxes filled with literal like I can't even see the rocks; they're covered in so much rock dust. And so yeah, I need to challenge myself to just take everything out the yard, hose it off, and get it separated because there's lots of usable stuff left. It's
Yeah.
not trash or yard box; it's usable stuff.
Yeah, Kid Curry is saying, but you get to find it again. But again,
Yeah.
this brings up an interesting solution and problem, is that I've found that somebody will send me a box of rocks, I do an unboxing or what have you, maybe I get some rocks from a rock hounding trip that I went on, and I start using those postal boxes as storage, and they all look the same, like say the medium flat rate box, and then so I'm like, is that the saw cuts, or is that the one that, so and so sent me, or is that the, my last beach hunt, and you've just got like some stacks going? Is anybody else having that problem?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
You,
you
oh,
or
yeah.
you or you put them in a
Also, there's
tub
Most definitely.
and you don't even remember what you have until,
yes,
for example, with like last month, trying to find a picture scene. I probably opened up some tubs I hadn't looked in quite a while, and yeah,
Are you there? Ryan? Yeah.
yeah. I
Okay.
was distracted. The issue that I'm having is when and why I got distracted is that when you added Ma, now I go to the one where what's showing big on my phone, which is the StreamYard feed, is not what you're showing. So I had to look up, and let's just say my brain couldn't handle two things at one time, so I lost
Oh,
my train of thought.
gotcha. Okay. You don't get to monitor yourself
Yeah,
today. Yeah, StreamYard, be interesting. And I can let
but
you know if you're center stage, like, hey, you're center stage right
yeah,
now. I could
yeah.
announce it. That might be helpful for you.
Or I
Um,
can just, or it just takes a couple seconds for me to see. But
yeah,
like I
we
was
are on a
saying,
lag
that's
too.
the little bit of the photo challenge. I guess leaving the others, that was one good thing that some of the cabs or the slabs that I got when I got my cabbing machine or that I bought last summer, I probably hadn't seen since last summer. So it was kind of good to get looking through there and just remembering what you have.
Right, right. And Kid Curry brings up a really good point. Literal, it's a Sharpie. And so I did start labeling at the very least before I queued a box into the massive wall of boxes. I at least would write on the box, and Mud did show how she's got her red Sharpie going on the boxes. So at least, that was from Karen and that one was from Patricia. And we've got this from Mahnee. There are
Yep,
those.
snappy bags.
Ah, the bags. Mm-hmm.
Baggies and baggies and baggies.
Baggies are nice
Even down,
because they consolidate kind of easier than a box. Yeah.
even down to the little bags there.
Yeah,
And then the
I
bags go
pull
in the
little bags
boxes.
too for Yeah, because it's funny. People work in different
These
sized
are pretty
stuff.
handy as well too.
Oh
They're
yeah.
for pot plants. You put them under your pot plants. Good for washing your rocks and
Yeah, excellent. My classifiers when I went to go gold panning, I realized that all of my classifiers were being used as storage.
That's usually my
yeah.
my colanders for cleaning the rock tumblers. I usually have to clean out the colanders before I can actually clean out the rock tumbler.
Right? That's one thing that I oftentimes I'll get some neighbor going like, hey, we're gonna be throwing a bunch of stuff towards Goodwill or something like that, would you like to come over and go through the stuff before we pitch it? And if I see colanders, I'm on it, because you can't have too many of those as a rock hound. You're sitting there with the hose after your hunt, and at the very least you can put the colander, or rather the classifier, dump that into the colander and put that back into the truck where it belongs. Because I always get to the site, I've got my buckets and everything. I have those classifiers that go on top of the 5-gallon buckets. I absolutely love those. And I'll get there and I don't have them, and I'm like, and then I think of the backyard and I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. There's one with gem field in it. There's another one with obsidian in it. And then the last one has moss agate in it. And okay, I lose.
I've got a
But
little kid in the back of the car that there's always classifiers, there's always bucket, there's always, I've got everything to rock out just in case, like gumboots, the works.
right. And your pick.
And
Like, I
it's in the
mean,
car.
how many picks do you
That's
have
great.
and hammers at home? And then you think you get to a location and you don't have a shovel and a hammer. And you're just like, how in the world do I not have those things?
Probably
Yep.
got 3 shovels in the car, like a couple of pickaxes. Like, yeah, I'm good to go.
Yeah, and so it's kind of good to like, that's another organizational tool, is like having your kit for each thing in an organized spot. So at the very least, it lives in a place where you can always go to and know, like, okay, I've got 5 minutes because I just learned that there was this incredible washout, 50 miles away. I'm going right now. Where's my stuff? I've got 2 hours, go. And so, yeah, it's a good idea. We've got what looks like dinner, but it's not. Okay. Doesn't that look like dinner?
Nom nom nom.
I will drain the noodles in it later.
You spend all your money on rocks.
Right.
It's not oil. It's called minerals.
I am
That's
so like
amazing
that,
what you can
especially
do
when
with
we're
ramen.
camping. Right? When we're camping on site, it's stone soup. It's okay. There's going to be some commingling going on. All right.
And I guess before we get on the starting, I was just going to throw, before I forget here later, I'm just kind of walking over here, and everybody has your tiered shelves. I'll stop here for a minute. but on the ends of them, if you get the organizers, these are nuts and bolts, but I mean, even for your rocks and your lapidary stuff, using the space on the ends to just hang something off, is kind of one of those ideas that you can use kind of to maximize your space. You can have your different things you pull out, and with these here too, you could take the tray with you and then put it back, depending on how or what you're using them for. So it's kind of
who has a pile of trays somewhere? Anybody? I have drawers, but a lot of them are empty. Like, and the container of the drawers is empty, and all the drawers are like hanging out in different places.
There's just a big void.
Yeah.
Where
And yeah, there it
this
is.
is the live version of it.
Right. That's great.
for
So
other
that Opal guy was
for
saying,
other tool things, just for example, the boxes that you that have the divided organizers. I have 2 more in the thing, and these are just the cabs that I have. And now, given the subject of organizing, now I don't have them put in the organizer in any organized manner, but at least they're in something and not just laying around getting broken. I don't know how many before I started putting in that they would just end up somewhere, and they would fall somewhere and break.
right.
A cab is only so strong.
Right. Which is another point is, in the case of, say, Manny's, you would be working on a whole storage solution that doesn't like make your whole place cave in, right?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
You don't need
So
to
let's
the neighbor, downstairs neighbor.
right. Let's see that container you were holding again.
Yeah, these are like the little, like you can put like separation like walls in them. This is the one I used to take to my gem club for faceting, and it had all my little faceting bits and bobs in there. Glue, stops, rocks, pens, rulers, loops, the whole lot. They're pretty handy. The other one too is the old fishing tackle boxes as well.
Yes.
Or machinist chests are another good one. Or I guess on some, or even like jewelry boxes, for different things.
Yeah, that looks okay. So it's empty right now. Doesn't that make everybody want to just fill it up with stuff?
Yep, tackle boxes. Yeah, there is some stuff in there, like the starts of my my silversmithing workshop. So bits of silver in there, and some saw blades, and slowly accumulating stuff for that. But that'll be an outside. Like I'll build another room outside for that, like separated, because I want to do casting as well in there.
Oh yeah.
My living space. Water's been a bit treacherous, but fire, yeah.
And we've got this over there, some more storage.
Yeah, these are good. They're made for makeup, but they're perfect because you can still see what's inside. You can see, oh, there's my tiny fish. And yeah, I just got and I just want to fill this entire shelf with them. I want to put them up there too, because so much of my stuff is little, and these are great for that. You could just kind of lump things together that are like. So yeah, it's helpful. Like I think I've got here's a whole entire drawer full of.
Yeah, the only thing I would I guess caution everybody, because even when I look at mine, is make sure you look at the weight limit on those, because I probably got too many pounds of rocks in containers on my one plastic one, because it's starting to bow.
Those ones are pretty
point. Yeah, that one looks like a really nice heavy acrylic.
Yep, yours looks nice. Yep.
So Allison was saying I hunt estate sales for storage containers like that, and I think that that's another great tip. You guys, if you have tips for people, put them in the chat. And this is something that everybody can, you know, rewatch, and maybe if they missed it the first time around, they can see what you said in the chat. So I highly recommend. Definitely share with us some of your hacks. And this was something that I wanted to ask everybody was, do you like to see it like Ma's makeup container there? You can see the stuff inside. So is it that you need to be able to see it so you know you have it, or do you mind if it's out of sight, out of mind? You know, is this something that changes the way that you feel about your storage? And I'll start with you, Ma.
Oh, I have both. I have boxes that I can't see inside, and I have boxes that, you know, you can. I kind of put all my favorite stuff in the ones that you can see into because, you know, they're pretty. And you can put some other stuff that isn't necessarily like that great looking in boxes because, like, maybe you just haven't cut them open yet. You don't even know what's on the inside. So just have a label on the outside, and you can know, okay, if I want to mess with some thunder eggs, I have a box of thunder eggs I can go and dig through. But you don't necessarily need to be looking at the outside of those all the time, you know?
Right, right. And so I guess, you know, if you have good labels and you can keep track of what you have, because Romania is saying kind of how I feel. It's super if you can see it. If I don't see them, they don't exist. You know, you just like
Into
I
the ball.
forget about a lot of stuff. If I can't see it, I don't know I have it anymore. You know. And so what do
Yeah,
you
that's
think, Mahnee?
Focus in
Oh,
itself too.
what's that?
Because then when you find it again, you're like, oh, yay, that's right, I got this.
Yeah. 5 years ago.
Little happy endorphins kick in again. You're like,
Yeah.
yay.
Woo! There is rock hounding in your own rocks, you know, like getting high on your own supply is a good thing.
I think it was the other day I was stepped on something and I was like, ow, that hurt. What's that? Oh, that's a sapphire. Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh. That's very
I've got this, like,
tactile.
I got this
Rock
plush
hounding with your
carpet, like
toes.
I got plush carpet, so like, if I drop something, it's not going to break. The flip side of that is that it'll get lost in there, and I've spent hours on the ground with a torch trying to find things that I'm working on that have landed there. Good training
I
for rock hounding outside as well too.
Yep, I'm
Yeah,
right
that
there with you. Yep. Yeah, I dropped
indoor rock hounding. Good.
yeah, a little 3 millimeter tourmaline that I had just cut, this little like a blush pink, and I have a Berber carpet, and it just like blended right in with the blush of the Berber carpet, and you know how that's loopy carpet, and so I had to get down there like on like my nose is on the carpet, you know, trying to find that that poor little, like it popped off the top and pew! You know, I don't know if you ever do
Yeah.
that. Like you shoot it and you're like, oh no. I just spent like a day on you and now you're gone.
I had
So
one
yeah.
of those dual grabber things, and it just had like one arm that just wouldn't latch on and it'd launch everything I'd try and pick up with it, and I had to get it out of the mix because it was taking up too much time finding the rocks that were coming off of it.
Oh my gosh, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have good tools along with your good storage, for sure. And
Yeah.
you know, Resort Dog brings up a good point. And then also, I think it was Romania that said, and I posted it up just as you know, like one of the little comments on the bottom. But currently, rock hounding and Agadad are both very organized, and so too is the guy in Montana, or no, not Montana, Michigan Rocks. So
Yeah.
if you want to see like enviable conditions, go watch that and maybe take some notes. But that was a
And
really
they're
good comment.
currently rock hounding too. His was in the back
Yes.
of a freight container.
Yeah.
Like
And
his
he's
whole
moved.
studios. Yeah. I'm looking at maybe going down that same path. Like the single-use freight containers are becoming cheap again. They got really expensive during COVID, but
Right.
now that the world trade's kind of picked up again, like they're getting pretty cheap. So they'd be like maybe like $1,500 US for a decent sized freight container, like 20 foot
Yeah.
or even 40 foot. And yeah, that's
Awesome.
some good workshop space.
Do it. Yeah, we've talked
Yep.
about that too. And Resort Dog is saying, and beware of earthquakes, emptying your shelves. A little stickum or wire barrier can save tears if something shakes the place. And that's actually just a good thing to keep in mind, that if you do have freestanding stuff, that, if something were to happen, like, are you going to die underneath your stuff? And
Look,
so really
I had
good.
a little bit of a wake up call with that last weekend. We had earthquakes here in Australia at 5 point something 6 on the Richter scale, and it was only like 70 kilometres away from me. I thought someone had driven a car into my studio, and then it went outside
Oh,
and
wow.
got the second aftershock, and I was like, "Holy hell!"
Right.
So yeah, the earthquake factor, I'm down with that now.
Yeah, yeah, and you don't really worry about it until it happens, and then you're like, "Oh, I probably should worry about that.
Just
Maybe
I've
I
walking
been
around.
shouldn't stack
cyclone
things to
ready,
fall."
tornado ready, flood ready, and now I've got bushfire ready. I'm bloody
Yeah,
earthquake. Crikey. Yeah, welcome to
I,
Australia.
Ma, were
I
you
was just,
saying something?
that just made me look very nervously around me, and I'm like,
Mm,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there is that.
There's that. I have to move some things. Let's say I see a big
Yeah.
jar that might fall on my head if there was an earthquake right now.
Yeah, I try
Yeah,
to not put breakable things above shoulder level for me, and so if it falls, like, at the very least, it might bonk me on the head, but at least it's not going to cover me in glass shrapnel or something like that.
yeah, that's very true.
That's a growing up in Cali thing, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I've never lived anywhere but here, but I just didn't think about it, and I looked around, and I should have. I should have thought about it. There's just a couple things I'll have to move. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
And
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna
that's
have to.
something you guys have to contend with living in. Like, there's some places in America, isn't there, that the fault lines are pretty active.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
crazy to
live right
think
next to
about.
it
Oh,
too.
Yeah, that's San Andreas, and then there's all those little
yeah,
guys around it. Oh yeah. We
I'd
were
have
a
to wait for
moving
the
and a
new.
shaking.
I'd
And
have to
we're
I'm
wait
at
for the
the
new Madrid to
subduction
hit.
zone now. So but
I'll
Kid
be.
Curry was
I'm,
Oh, I'm
oh,
sorry. Go
sorry.
ahead, Ma.
Well, I'm just gonna be gone for a minute. You could maybe put
Okay.
someone else up on the screen or whatever because I'm gonna go. I need to get more water. I'm out of water.
So
Oh,
Kid Curry was talking about planning on putting down those puzzle sheets of foam under their equipment. Any thoughts, yay or nay? And I can tell you that that's what we have in our garage, and I really really like it. You will destroy them, but it's kind of nice to destroy them and not worry about the surface of whatever it is that's underneath them. Just as long as, if you have casters on things and that sort of thing, you might want to make sure that you'll still be able to roll over the top of them. We have very firm foam, like the industrial ones, and I love them. They're awesome. So, it's up to you. They're harder to clean. If you have an oil spill or something like that, it's not fun. But you can always pick them up. Just don't glue them down. Like, don't make them permanent in your space, and then you can pick them up and clean or replace whatever. I've got a few of them that got super chewed up, and I just like picked them up, tossed those, and put new ones in. So it's kind of a cool modular floor if you've got something that you don't feel comfortable with, or even if it's, unfinished floor. So I like that. Um, and I'm putting you up now. Smile.
I'm ready for my clothes up, Mr. DeMille.
Right.
Yeah, I came
Um,
prepared today. I got 2 cuppers.
oh, nice. so Spot knew it was coming during construction, knowing I was going to overload regular lumber. I made them use micro laminated beams. I got a lot of eye rolls, but in the end, I was the one with the bullwhip, and that's good. Like, yeah, if you know you're going to need extra, there's the one time that you get to put your foot down and get what it is that you know you're going to need. So good on you for that.
Kind of future-proofing your studio, hey?
Right.
That's,
And
yeah,
that
that's a
that
big
puzzle mat
factor.
would be good for your storage unit too, because Resort Dog is saying here a stress relief pad to stand on. Working stuff certainly helps you. That's what those puzzle mats are in there for. Is
Yep.
it's a nice thing to stand on, and you can go out there barefoot, unless you're worried about like all the metal shrapnel that might be in the mat. But like it's kind of a kinder environment. Yeah.
Another good one, and if you can get your hand on them, is the kitchen mats, the rubber ones. Like for industrial kitchens, like they're really good because you can roll them up, take them outside, and give them a clean, and a little bit more longevity than the foam stuff. It's still same principle, like gives you a little bit of padding on the ground, and yeah,
Yeah, or even
designed for
doormats,
liquids. Sorry.
or even doormats, the
Yeah.
larger
Yep.
like onesie for like a mud room or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
I like all of
Yeah.
those that you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I've got like carpet tile mats as well, but they're like for boats and that, so they're designed for outdoors. They're really good as well too, and back to the modular sort of setup as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just as far as whatever it is that you decide on, it's really nice. Like, it's not a Berber carpet, so that you don't lose gemstones, but also if you can like take it outside and hose it off, or if you can if you're more into leaving it in place, that you can just use a wet mop across it. It's just super cool to have something in your studio that is more industrial grade. And so I have every notion to rip out this carpet in here and probably burn it and get all the metal out of it, because there's probably just like troy ounces upon troy ounces of shavings in here of silver, and then replace it with some of the puzzle or something like that. Yeah.
They should send it to that MB mining dude or whatever it is who does all the ore like meltdowns and say, yeah, see what you can get out of this.
Right. I'm serious, man. Because I have been doing some casting, and it makes you like the burn fool. You're just like, I'll melt anything. It's great. I'll take that silver.
I'm hoping to have my casting set up by winter next year so I can play with fire and keep warm at the same time.
I'm telling you, sand casting setup is so easy. You could have it done by tomorrow if you just wanted to.
I'm part way there. I need the gas bottles. That's the next big thing I need to get. I've got a torch. I've got and the sand itself too.
Yeah.
Getting the right
For the
sand
rest of us,
apparently
that means
is really
about March,
essential
right?
for that too.
That could mean March, or so as far as the melting goes, if you didn't want to deal with torching, you could always get one of those. I just got a furnace that is a tabletop furnace that will melt some like larger bunches of metal. Like if I'm doing stuff that's from, say, like the estate sales and pawn shops and stuff like that, that I can melt it down in a furnace. And I'm gonna say I haven't tested it, and I haven't unboxed it, and this is one of the tool surprises. I'm just letting it go right now. Is the tabletop furnace from Viver. I'm going to be testing it for everybody. And it's a solution for if you'd like to do some casting, like sand casting, and don't feel like you want to deal with the crucible and torch thing, because that can be kind of a little more exciting than you might want to deal with, especially if you've got a lot of silver that you, or casting bronze, copper, any of these things. If that's what you're dealing with, you might not want to use a crucible and torch. So there
That's
you go.
something very interesting to think about. I have been looking at those little furnace setups and even the little blacksmithing setups they've got on Viva as well. It's like,
And
very
it's
good.
cheap and it's
Yeah,
inexpensive.
very cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
So
I had the Viva fastening machine. I mean, just with just having the issue with the mast, like not being able to lock the angles, kind of wrote it off a little bit. But the Viva machine has lasted like quite a few years and quite a hard workload for something cheap. So they're not all terrible. Like the Beaver stuff's a good stepping stone, I reckon. Good entry level kind of way to get into something.
yeah, and I've
Not
heard from other
sponsored.
metalsmiths. Yeah, the metalsmiths that I've talked to, because I didn't want to just like plonk down money if it was going to be a total waste. But I know
Yeah,
some people that swear by that Viver furnace like they did the mill. Theo
yeah.
was the one that told me to get the Viver rolling mill, that it was as good as, some of the ones that start at $1,000. And I have to agree, like it's all that I need right now. I might want to get a bigger one at some point, but it's fantastic and it was way cheap. Way cheap. Too cheap to be a good thing. And I find out that their furnace right now is kind of the same thing. And so that's a doable
Okay.
thing for your studio setup. And then Resort Dog is saying when you have stuff like the puzzle mat or restaurant carpet or whatever it is that you want to put in there, the opal doesn't break when you drop it.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing, yeah, about your setup for sure. And then Kid Curry was asking a question: standing height or sit down for equipment heights? Who wants to weigh in on this?
Office ergonomics is important, or workshop ergonomics. Yeah, I've got a pretty bad back. I did a lot of years as a roadie and lifting heavy things, and being an ant basically, carrying heavy things. And for me, having ergonomics sorted in my workshop and my studio is really important. So if I've got things where I'm standing up, I make sure I'm not bent over. If I'm sitting down, same sort of thing. Even down to your glasses that you wear can be a factor. If you've got some glasses have a different focal range, as I found out. And yeah, so if you've got like a near focal range, you'll be hunched over and looking into things, and so it's good to have like a little bit of room between you and what you're working on. Same with using these as well too. The OptiVisors are really good as well too, good for your ergonomics, and lighting as well too. That's another important factor, I think, with all of this as well too, having good lighting.
Yes, absolutely. Great advice. Do you have a weigh in on that, Ryan?
Yeah, I would say I wish I had a sit stand desk, so I can kind of swap
Oh
between the
yeah,
two. And
yep.
because I have a very bad arthritic ankles, so I can't stand on them for long, even with like anti-fatigue mats. So I'm probably biased now with my setup towards sitting, but because also if I was, you know, just using regular equipment, I'm 6'4", I have longer arms than I am tall, and so even on the sit, it's kind of tough sometimes because in order for it to be long or at the right position for your arms, then it's not at a good position for your neck, because I also have neck problems. So it's sometimes a little bit of a battle. I kind of wish, I had my setup was more like the Genie and whatnot, because of the lip on my Covington here is so high that
Oh yep.
I'm my arms
Uh,
have to be above the level, and so I'm kind of levering down, or my elbows are, out at the thing. I can't put my arms so far out, but I did help to improve it over the height of the base when I got it by putting two of the shelves that I had for my plastic shelves underneath it, so it at least brings up the level to one that's a little bit more comfortable when I'm sitting. I have an adjustable stool that I sit on, so I can adjust it up and down based on how my body's feeling that day. But definitely ergonomics, because when I'm working on any of my other machines, they're probably too low, like the flat lap. You generally probably want that, almost so the lap is closer to head level, but mine's way lower than that, and I can tell when I'm using that my back doesn't last as long as, even the lesser amount of time that I can on the cabbing machine. So long answer for a long answer for a short answer.
Thank you for that, because that's exactly what people are having to deal with. Doug's solution was the anti-gravity Fat Man suit from Dune. Hey, Doug. Thanks for
I'll
I
that.
take two.
have seen, and it was almost interesting. I've seen the people that almost lay on a sling when they're doing
Oh,
cabin
yep.
work, so they're almost prone.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. That's how
The
they
years
used
old,
ago,
to.
I go that'd be weird, but I mean,
the old
that'd be,
grinding mills
Yep,
in Europe. I think
yeah,
they do that.
yep,
yeah.
yep.
So maybe,
Yep. So one of the things that I was told when I was first getting into it, and I'm sure it was my mom and my grandfather, I didn't really go to school for any of this, but bring the project to you instead of you going to the project was always their recommendation. My grandfather was a machinist and then also did the jewelry making, kind of like just as his delight instead of the work a day machine shop stuff. And so it was always, can you put maybe the machine at a height where you can stand using it, and then if you need to, put a tall stool that you can sit at if you need to sit down for a while at the same machine. And so I've tried anyway to set up my stuff so that it's all at a level where it's workable in maybe a couple different positions. Like I sit on a
yeah,
stool, or I stand, or an exercise ball. I love those Swiss balls to sit on. Pneumatic chairs are really nice. Um and
I
uh
don't
and
think I
so
could do the ball.
what's that?
I don't think I could do those balls. I'm a little bit archaic.
yeah.
You know what
It might
was
be good to
funny?
stretch the back on
Yeah,
every
yeah,
so
because
often.
it's
You
like
just roll
a
down and
it's a stability ball. And I was actually I was using a hand soldering iron, like not a torch but like an iron, just doing a couple of links on something that couldn't get torched, because I didn't want it to oxidize all over again and yada yada. And there I was doing it, and then I kind of looked and I was just like, this is stupid, because like if I should have a link drop, I'm like gonna blow this ball and like meet the floor rather quickly. I'm like, yeah, maybe that's not like the best studio thing to use if you're using, heat or soldering or doing anything like that. But
yeah.
there
One
are
one thing,
solutions.
like with my cabbing machine, I tried it once where I can stand up and work on it, but I'm farsighted and my eyes are getting worse. So, but being that far away from the work, it's really hard for me, for my eyes to be 3 feet away from the the cabbing wheels and be able to see what a girdle looks like as I'm doing it. So, kind of there's a little bit of considerations there, and that's the same with working on the flat lap. Is kind of you have to get in the position so you can actually be productive and do the job, but then still not, be in a position where you can only work for an hour because that's because you're in a bad position.
Right. And so
That makes
thank you
sense.
thank you for that. And so I'm gonna be unboxing actually right this second. Since we do have some things that we're doing, and then we can continue the discussion. And I'm going to put the array of things that we're doing along with our discussion at the same time for everybody who's watching, and we'll have some questions too. So you guys all recognize the seal here. This is a box from the notorious world of rock hounds, and Kyle was including little uh, gnomes with everybody's recent um, shipments. And so I have my little gnome here right on the top. And so I'm just going to go ahead and be ambiently taking my stuff out of this box while we discuss. And so I'll go ahead and share the screen with all of the projects going on, because I know that Ryan also is going to be rolling some cabs on the wheels. And Mahnee, I think that you were going to show us also some pictures maybe of some of the other chaotic situations in your studio. We could talk about some of the solutions for those. And then, of course, if you're in the chat, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. And we are trying to do storage solutions. In fact, I'm going to have to figure out where to put all this stuff that I just got from Kyle. And so let me go ahead and do this maybe, or do we want that one? We'll do that one for right now. And so everybody can kind of watch what's going on with everybody. And Kid Curry is asking a question. And since you're the professional with this, Mahnee, maybe you can go ahead and take this one going. What are
Yep.
recommendations for lighting?
Well, lighting's a factor. I have LED lights throughout my studio for working. I like the ones that have the three different color temperatures, because the warmer temperatures on certain stones make your scratches pop out. And it has like like daylight is really good. But if you can't emulate daylight, then you can't let daylight in. Then emulating daylight is the next best thing. And like I said, different color temperatures help with different kind of things that you're doing as well too. I use similar lights to what I use when I'm judging. Like I do cabochon judging for competition cutting here in Australia, as well as I've just got my qualifications for faceting judging as well too. And with faceting judging, they have very specific requirements. So I think it's like a 5 watt light and certain color temperatures as well too. So so it is a factor. And if you're into competition cutting as well too, like it's good to find out what the judges use and emulate that as well.
That is great recommendation there, as far as
Dimmable lights as well too is a factor too.
right. What is your end expectation will dictate what lighting you might be wanting to use, right? Like if the judges are using this, then use that. And I think that Ryan was just showing us his lighting there too. What you got going on there, Ryan?
Yeah, I was just to kind of show. I mounted 2 LEDs. At least now, I found, and one thing to consider is I used to only have one in the middle, and that was, I found, very bad, because you'd always have shadows on the opposite side of the cab, and the way that I cab, I could really never see the like the girdle lines and everything. And so just kind of having that light from both sides kind of helps get rid of some of the shadows and be able to, like Mahnee said, be able to see different things, and I have them as, I got these, they're the same brand, same color, so also like when I'm videoing, you want to have as a few different types of light sources as possible, because otherwise you get into color imbalances, really throwing off the whatever camera you're trying to do. So in the shed, sometimes I'll even shut off the shed lights, so I don't have the I'm drawing a blank, the fluorescence on top, giving them that fluorescent color. So that's kind of a consideration too, is if you're trying to do video on top of just working, add that into your considerations as well.
Absolutely. Like we know that some of the lighting that you can buy will cause that banding to go across your screen if you're not careful. That's sort of the frequency, and a couple of you guys did actually point out frequency in your comments there. And so, yeah, that is super important if you are not just setting up for studio, but you also have the intention of doing video. It's huge. Yeah. And so I did want to kind of just show y'all this here really quick. So this is a tooth that Rick purchased, I believe, for me. I know that there's one from Rick, and I think I got another one, and it was ichthyosaur teeth that Kyle had. And one of the reasons why was because it's just neat, but the other reason why was that I wanted to be able to have a example of a tooth so that I can compare it to the ones that I'm finding. And so now I have like onboard comparisons, so I can judge the, I have this inner layer that is showing up in some of my finds from the river and the Jurassic. And here's the actual, so I can see, you know, sometimes you don't know what you got until you get to see the actual thing alongside it, right? And so this was really, really important. I just wanted to point that out, and we'll get back to the conversation about lighting or whatever it is that you guys had ideas about. Mud, did you have anything to add to that conversation?
I'd say, at least for if you're talking about, not with lighting, I just get as much light as you can on it. Is my is my kind of take on that. And before, when you guys were talking about the position of where you have your stuff,
Get as much idea.
I try to get things to an eye level, or near eye level as I can without it being ridiculous. And so like with my flat lap, I get it so that I'm close enough that I can see what I'm doing relatively well. I'm not having to stoop over, and basically just pay attention to your body. And if you are hurting, make adjustments. It took me a couple weeks to figure out what I could do and not have pain at the end of the day. And just pay attention and just try it a little higher, a little lower. At first, I was getting a ton of shoulder pain because I was having to put my arms in an awkward position that was straining muscles I didn't know I had, you know? And so
right.
just kind of, it's like there's lots of tips out there and everything, but it really is going to boil down to what feels good and what feels good over time, you know?
Absolutely.
And just being aware of it as well too, I think, is the big takeaway from that is, be aware of your body. You're starting to cramp up, have a break, stand up, have a stretch.
Definitely.
Yeah. And so I guess that would fall under the heading of body storage solutions. This all matters. How do we store our bodies in our studios is very important. Some of the days do feel like, you're stored in your studio for the day with your coffee or what have you. And so that was a great question. Thank you so much, Kid Curry, for getting us on that. And as far as that's concerned, Mahnee, you've got some chaos going on there. How are you dealing with like the parsing of one style of like or department of tool use to another? Because like I can see a tool behind you right now, so you
Yep,
obviously have areas. You've got a faceting area, you've got your
yep.
it looks like a arbor of some kind right behind you. So do you mind touching upon that for a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, having separated workspaces like can really help. Um, I was lucky enough to, I think, to score a like a high school desk that had no lid to it. So I ended up putting my own top on it and a back and covered it with towels to deal with the splash factor. And that was the first kind of station that I set up for me to be able to work inside. And then that kind of evolved. I bought a pendant motor, and that hangs off of that. And then I got the cabbing machines, and at first they were outside, and then winter came. And I'm like, I want to play with these, but I don't want to play with them outside. So that made space on a workbench and moved that inside. But just having little areas can be really helpful as well too. A little bit easier to manage, or a little bit easy to let go for chaos.
Right.
Like the rest of my studio is pretty messy, but my faceting station has only got like the things that I need for faceting, like close by. So that's a little bit more OCD than the rest of the studio.
Right.
Eventually, when I do get get the studio upgrade, there'll be workstations for all different aspects of smithing and rock gem cutting, like in their little spots, basically.
So, as far as being able to like create your dream spot for that, what sorry about that. What would you what how would you create like a dream area, say like right behind you? What would be your perfect solution for your organization there?
Well, I've got another cabbing machine that I'd like to bring into the mix. So I'd like a wall of cabbers, and then another section for indoor saws or saws that I could operate inside. Eventually, like I want to get some big slabbing saws, but I'd say they'd be an outside jobby. But yeah, like a space where I can work on cabs and carvings and stuff like that. A space for silversmithing, which I think I'll keep separate from the rock stuff, and then a space for the faceting as well too, just to keep that, try and keep that uncontaminated as well too, which is something that is a factor with when you're cutting stones. If like my faceting machine isn't that clean at the moment. I've been in a bit of a frenzy, but yeah, keeping your faceting work area clean can be really important. If you get contaminants, it can undo a lot of hours of work very fast.
That's a great point that we really haven't touched upon quite yet here in this discussion. When we're staying organized, one huge, I guess, part of that is making sure that we don't contaminate one
Mm,
project to another, and
yep,
faceting in the same room as, say, doing jewelry work, which is what I do in this room.
yep,
Like I have my saw and I have my cabber in a different room because of that exact reason. And
yep,
I have to like cover my faceting machine every single time I want to do jewelry, and then copiously, just religiously clean it before I get started faceting again, or else I pay the big price.
Yep. Yeah. Even down to like keeping my vaccine lap like in bags,
Yeah,
just so that no ambient contaminants can get to them.
right.
Yeah, that is a factor, and yeah, if I had more space, that would be something I'd probably have compartmentalized a little bit more. Like, all right, this is my dedicated, silversmithing area, and I'd have that blocked off from the cabbing area, and that would be blocked off from the cutting area, and yeah, then the faceting area. So yeah, a little bit more compartmentalized, I think, in the ideal studio situation. It'll never happen. It'll just end up being
Never say never. And thank you, Romania, for saying that faceting is like having a PhD in lapidary. That is so sweet, because those of us who have learned it, it does take quite a bit to get there. And so,
yeah.
I'll you
It's
know
a
what?
deep rabbit hole to dive down.
Yeah, I'm not a boaster, but I will take an honorary PhD for that, because it was a bit of a push up to learn. And it still is. I'm a beginner still. I probably will be a beginner for the next 10 years. So it's that kind
Forever
of thing,
learning.
To
Yeah,
become a
that's
master
always,
is just a lot of time.
yeah, just to kind of read, I was going to say the same thing. Anything that you operate that's kind of in a horizontal position, especially, or anything like a polish or a felt wheel, it's really kind of important to keep those clean. In my shed, it's big enough here that, even my oil saw, I have it outside right now just because I didn't bring it back in after I cleaned it. I'm just using it out there, but it's in the middle, kind of in between where I have my flat lap and my cabbing machines, so it can, having the space definitely helps with keeping the contamination down, but you still got to keep things covered and be able to store things like your flat lap discs and everything between uses.
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely a factor. Oh,
Yeah.
one more space I'd have would be a
Yes.
space for my boulder opal, because that stuff is uber messy.
Oh my gosh. And it's funny that you just say that at the same time as Resort Dog talking about no oil inside. No oil
Yep.
and no red mud.
No artesian, ancient clay.
Oh
Ancient.
my gosh. I love it when I'm working Boulder Opal all day and I forget that I look the way that I do, and I answer the door, or Steve will come home and I look like, I'm going to Burning Man or something like that. I'm just painted, like I am ready for some kind of, artistic installation. So yeah, that is a really good point. And then also, Allison, good to see you. So thankful
Good
that
night.
you're here hanging out with us. And then we have Drains will love you if you, yeah, like all of the stuff that comes from your lapidary machines, be it like Boulder Opal dust or oil or any of that stuff, needs to go someplace else other than your drains, or any of your household things. They're not set up for that. And I know Kyle is really, really vocal about that as well. So
I have
yes.
a bucket system for that. Bucket and hoses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And Kid Curry is talking about the Dexter room, hanging plastic stuff. Yeah, you go ahead and make your work areas into a total creeper home. That's fine. It's better than, having problems with all of your rock commingling and contaminating each other, for sure. Oh, this is interesting. A restaurant grease trap put in. Yeah. Or or even better yet, kind of try to figure out like if your area has a way of we have of course toxic disposal that we take part in, or you find out where it's safe to off your sediments from your machines. And a lot of people recycle their oil, which is an awesome thing to do. And so, yeah, you just you got to figure out. And these are all storage things, because if you've got, buckets of oil or buckets of sediment that you've created, then you need to find some way of of leaving it in the right place until you can dispose of it, or what have you. And let's see, we've got Mahnee is taking a little break. Let's shuffle on up to Ma and see what she's got going on there. It looks like she's back onto the chart.
Yeah, I'm not working on my ring anymore because I'm gonna mess it up if I do. Like
Yeah,
I can't
focus time.
concentrate enough while I'm hanging out with you, lovely people. So
Right.
I'm just gonna finish this guy, which will be good because then I can mail it out on Tuesday back to its home over to Squirrel.
Nice. Yeah,
So
that is a go ahead.
Oh, it's just I dopped it up. I was getting a little bit like I wasn't getting smooth transitions from the sides to the front, so I dopped it up so I could have some better control. And yeah, it's coming along.
Awesome. And I didn't say it before, but what a beautiful shape you've got going there.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is a surprise because it's a triangle, but it's a beautiful shape.
I was trying to the frond that's on the back of this is so cool. I was trying to get as much of that saved as I possibly could, so I just made the biggest triangle that I could with the piece that I was working with.
That is awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. And so thanks for sharing that with us. And did you have any as far as contamination goes, do you have any tips or tricks for any of the folks, since that's what we were talking about just then?
Yeah. Don't make a pile of your discs. Don't let them touch each other. Just put them in something where they don't touch each other while they're drying. They don't touch each other while they're being stored. If you can't put them in little individual baggies, which is the best, I think, probably way to do it. I don't do that anymore. I just have mine in a system where they don't touch each other. And I just make sure they don't. And any double up you see, those are the same grit. So don't worry. But,
yeah.
And then I use that for my cerium.
That gets me every time. Hey? I love that so much.
I mean, there's so much dust and debris on the top of that thing and not on my cerium disc. So yeah, it works great.
Yeah. Okay. And we've got,
I just don't let stuff touch each other, and clean it often.
Yes, I agree. Yep. And so I like that. That's is that some kind of like a cake bin also, Mahnee?
Microwave container.
Microwave container.
Exactly 150 centimeters or 6 inches wide.
Perfect.
You can stack cake in there.
So kitchen and storage aisle can be your friend as far as finding things to put your laps in. And then I also happen to know that our good friend Patrick over there at Donahue Labs has started 3D printing lap containers. And
so cool.
you can get them personalized. And so, you let him know what needs to be on the personalization, if it's your logo, or if you want, like, this is the bat lap and no other laps go in there, this is the dark side, no other laps. And so that might actually really help you also. I know a lot of people used to use film containers for their lapidary laps, and so that would go for the high-tech diamond ones. Any of the different kinds of laps that you have, film containers are awesome, but then they got collectible. And so if you can find film containers, then
I've got a stack of them.
definitely. Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. I'd stack of them.
A whole,
Yeah,
But I didn't realise they were
appropriately
collectibles as well
sized
too.
cookie containers.
Dilemma.
There you go. And what was that, Ryan?
Or appropriately sized cookie containers.
Yeah, cookie containers is another really, really good one, Ryan. I had given my dad some rocks around Christmas time, and I delivered them to him in like I was just looking for anything to make a gift out of them, and it was around Christmas time, and they had a nesting group of 3 cookie containers that you would take to somebody's house that has the like all the stupid Christmas design on top of it or whatever, but perfect sealing containers that were circular, and I was like, okay, so my dad got one, but I took the other 2, and and used them for laps. Yeah. So that thank you, Ryan, for reminding us about that too. You can use whatever you want to, and usually if you can swoop on a sale after a holiday, if you don't mind that it's got like a turkey or a jack-o'-lantern or a Santa Claus on it, then you can get them for really cheap too. Oh yeah, and Kid
Then
Curry
you
is
just have
saying
to find
those,
another place to store them.
and you still have to find a place to store them. That's so true. But at least you've got like the storage for those things that don't want to get contaminated. Those shortbread containers that yeah, get the Christmas cookies in them. Those shortbreads are wonderfully tasty, and then just ask for the box back because those are wonderful circular containers as well.
Wrap them in cellophane.
Right. Yeah, you can make stocking stuffers out of all of the cookies and keep all the containers. This is such a good hack for everybody ahead of the holidays where you'll thank us now and believe me later. And it looks like Cliff is saying hello, good to see you too, and is saying something about how Cliff set up the new Highland Park C8 machine, adjustable height table. Hope it helps. And so it looks like the message is in my, oh my gosh, my Facebook. I don't even know if I can get in there right now. I'll share that over on I will share that on the Discord because that would require me remembering a password. Anybody else need storage for their passwords that want to help me out? Yeah, we just got new phones and a new computer, and that requires like new or remembering passwords. Does anybody else hate doing that? Yeah.
It's the
I end up just resetting all the passwords after a while, especially like the ones that have had facial recognition turned on, because I can't remember what my password was a week ago, let alone 6 months ago. So.
It's been a nightmare. And you never know when that's going to need to happen because you might like lose your phone or it might die. And so it's just a good idea. Like I'm resolving now that I'm going to put all that stuff in an important, storage place so that I know where it is next time. It's awful. So, and somebody, okay, so I think Beth is saying it's pretty, and I know, isn't Mahnee looking nice today? Or this here piece of ocean jasper that came from Kyle's live. I'm sort of opening the box on the sly over here. And Patricia's saying the solution here is keep them in a notebook, and I agree with that.
Yeah,
I am terrible. I have like probably 12 notebooks going at any given time is the problem, and so it's more like which one were those passwords in? And I took a picture of, like, the passwords because pictures are good for me, but then if you can't get into the device that has the picture, then you're screwed all over again.
No.
So
Or if you accidentally forward the picture to your entire mailing list or post it on Discord.
right? Yeah, you don't wanna get that hacked as well, so that might not be the smartest thing. I'm not giving solutions here, I'm telling you about problems more.
Oh yeah.
All right, and so, hey, Manny, did you want me to share some of those pictures, or do you have some more that you wanted to talk about?
I don't know, it's a bit embarrassing.
Oh, I don't have to.
No, it's all right. I just, yeah, it goes to prove that I've hit critical mass in my studio. I can kind of explain the different areas.
Right. Well, it was kind of cool to see it was cool to see uh the faceting area, I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so
I mean that's a,
maybe
a good example of a compact kind of workspace. Like, you don't need a lot of room if you can set up a little, 1 meter by 1 meter space. Then you're often off to the races. You know what I mean? Like, um,
right. Yeah, I thought that that looked quite nice actually.
yeah,
And so let's see if I can am I showing it? I am.
yep,
Um
yep.
all right. So you want to tell us give us a little tour around here.
So where the red part is, like, that's two pieces of what we use here in Australia for concreting. It's called form ply. I'm not sure what you guys would probably call it, but it's designed to get wet. So there's legs underneath that bring it up to about lap height, and then I've put the two boards in. So I've got the board that the faceting machine sits on, and then the backing board, and that's to stop any splash. So containing the water is kind of really important. Like, I don't want water going everywhere in the studio. And then behind that again, there's a mast, which I have got like a hanging pendant motor on as well too. Um, I've got my light suspended above it, and it's a bit of a swivel light, and that allows me to move, closer to the mast when I'm looking at my facets, but also gives me an overall kind of smooth kind of area, like, yeah, good surface area for lighting. And it just, like, I had my flat lap on this for a good couple of years before I got the faceting machine. So, and then I'd move that away when I do carving, and just the dowel is just pegged down, so you can just replace that as that gets grotty, and start again. To the left of it is a bucket for my water. Um, with the faceting machine, I use the water that in the container, but in the past I've had a weed whacker spray bottle that I use for my water supply. So that holds 5 liters of water, and then you just give it a little pump to bring the water to wherever you're working. So this is a great way of starting off. You don't need a lot of space. Like, even like with this little setup, you could be in your lounge room watching telly, and working on something, like, you could put it pretty much anywhere. Not a Gen Master. It is a Topaz Tech. There's a very limited amount of these. It is an Australian built faceting machine. It was built in Brisbane. I haven't seen too many of them. Yeah, it does it's yeah it's it's the machine I needed, not the machine I wanted.
You know,
But
a
yeah, that's
machine
great.
to make anything on is basically good, right? Like,
Yeah,
getting your
and it's
hands on something.
it's surprisingly accurate as well too. It used to be owned by a competition gem cutter, and he's quite well renowned here in Australia, Sid Smith, and passed away sadly. And it was part of all his equipment got handed off to a friend of the family who was into rock cutting as well, and then I got it from them. So yeah, I was really happy to get a machine that I could sit and cut on. I had a Hall's machine ordered, but the guy who makes them has been going through some pretty bad health issues, and it might not be any more being made. So that's a bit of a sad story. And then this came up, and I kind of jumped on it. Came with a lot of dots, and it's very accurate. Like for a very old machine, like I only had to adjust the zero the cheater in, and then I was off to the races. So yeah, real happy about that.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
And I always kind of feel like some of the machines that they made a while back, they just don't make them like they used to. They're good
that's
machines. They're
yeah,
balmy. Yeah.
yeah. Well, this is this is this has been handed down from one generation to the next, basically. So, and it's still going strong. The pulley on it's good, the platter's good, the motor's good, like it's all good. Like I said, all I had to do was just tweak the zero the cheater, and I was off. There's things about it, like it doesn't have a keyless quill, that's where you put the stones in, and but that teaches you a whole level of skills that you don't get with the newer machines, like picking, picking a facet to go off of, like for
Right.
recutting. That's a really important skill if you're doing repairs and recuts and things like that.
Or if
And yeah,
something flies off.
yeah, that's another
Yeah.
another factor. The first couple of goes at using wax, I found out the
Right?
hard way.
Or a dodgy stone, like some of the stones just don't like to hold on, like they get hot and, wanna free themselves. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah,
for
this is
sure.
true as well too. Or if you have another factor with lighting and lamps, and this is another scenario where I was a little bit tired. I was faceting, and the stone was actually moving because the lamp was too close to it. So again, I was chasing a facet, and it just kept getting away from me until I realized, oh, the lamp is heating my wax up, and the stone is not as secure as I thought it was. So yeah, having a lamp a reasonable way away from what you're working on can be a factor as well too.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah, or going the other direction, some of the waxes get very brittle in cold, and so
oh yeah, yep.
if you're using water and you are, faceting in the wintertime and your studio is cold, you can lose a stone that way too. Ask me how I know.
I, I, I know because like I'm an instructor at my club, and I'm the guy that they get to do all the dopping. So I had like four people that I was showing how to do cabs, and each one, like the stone just wouldn't hold. So I spent the whole night dopping instead of teaching. So yeah,
Oh
we
my
yeah.
gosh. Yeah, you know.
They're all looking at me like, "What's going on, fella?" Like you need to be the grand
Oh,
pooper.
right? Like, no pressure. Oh, man. And I did since, Patrick popped in, I wanted to reiterate about the storage solutions that, Patrick came up with those lap cases that he's making. And maybe Patrick, I know you can't put a hot link up. I can put something in the description for this later, but if you wanted to just make a reference to it in the chat, about, like, is it your Etsy? I believe it's your Etsy page. Then people that are rewatching this later will know to follow the link if they want to get one of your lab containers, because I know I'm gonna definitely be wanting a handful of those myself. They're very, very reasonably priced. I can't remember how much they were, but they're like really, really reasonable. And so, yeah, thank you for showing us your faceting area. Oh, great. Okay, here is the answer. I just posted in Discord, buy and sell, yes, via my Etsy shop. So definitely go check that out, because those are good storage solutions. And like Patrick, do you mind mentioning how much they were? I can't remember, and I don't want to misquote, but I was just so kind of stunned at how reasonably priced you're doing them too. And while he's doing that, I'm just doing some more unboxing. This is some of that Chrissa praise, the stuff that Mr. Isn't it Chris Opal? Chris Opal, yeah. It's the Chris Opal as opposed to the Chris Praise. And look at that pretty color. They're so yummy. Yeah. Oh, what you got there, Ma? And yes, it was from Kyle. And Ma, I like, for some reason I'm not hearing you. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
It's Chris Opal.
Oh, that's some of it.
It's not getting very. You can't really. It looks way more blue to the eye. I think that this color situation here is doing something to what it actually looks like. But yeah, it's the same thing. I just happen to have my box like right there.
Oh, and Ryan's got some. Everybody's got some right there. Hey, Mahnee, where's yours?
That's why I asked you, because I had no clue. I didn't remember what it was.
Yeah, and this piece, I wish to thank. I'm thanking Meg, Mac, and Kyle for. I guess they both pitched in to get me that piece. That was so delicious. I wanted to eat it. And it does look like Manny's got some. Everybody's got some. Nice. And Patrick is saying that the 6-inch and the 8-inch are $11 US and $12 US plus shipping for blank or with simple text, or I can add a logo or fancy thing for $3 extra. Can you believe how cheap that is?
That's so ridiculously well priced.
I know. Patrick, you're my hero. What were you saying, Ma?
I was just saying good on you, Patrick, because that's amazing. That's like ridiculously affordable.
It's so good. I was expecting, when I saw that post go up at first, I was like, that's going to be probably out of my range, because I just feel like so much is these days. And when you posted how much, I was so relieved that, like, yeah, I would love to support your endeavor making those. And thank you so much for doing so for all of us people that need that storage solution. This is like the perfect platform for that.
How many laps can fit in them? Is it just single lap use or multiple lap use?
Yeah, so we'll wait for a reply on that. We've got Scott is going, and I saw that Romania was going out of range too. And then Ryan, what you got there?
That was a piece of the Paracreek chrysophase, or whatever. I think I pronounced it at least halfway right. And chrysocolla, I'm sorry. And decided that was one that I'd kind of gone through the attempt at stabilizing. I think this piece itself was pretty good to begin with. But
nice.
It's kind of has some really pretty patterns and everything in it. If you can see it, I point it towards the light.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Kyle was
Almost,
playing into
almost
our
oval.
summer greens and blues big time. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Oh no, I said it's almost oval.
Good job.
I can't freehand an oval to save my life, but I can come close. It's like photography and the water being level. You don't want to be close to being level in that level. So I think sometimes you don't want to try to be symmetrical and not be.
Yep. It's all the things. It's kind of like the golf game when, you know all the things that you're supposed to be doing, but you might like just, you might get a few of them done for that swing. And then you got to move on to the next swing. You can't,
Hmm.
like, we would have just the tiniest pebbles if we got everything right every time with every cab. One day.
Well,
One day
I'd
we
never
might.
finish one. I would never finish a cab if it had to be perfect.
Right.
I'm like somebody in the live here.
Yeah, some
Getting
people like can get like or sidle up very
yeah.
close to perfection, and that is a wonderful thing. And they, the time that you spend, you do you get your your time like paid for, or is
Hmm.
it for your own just that I feel good about doing it that good, or what have you, because you kind of
Hmm.
have to figure, you have to figure out, for my business or for my pleasure or this challenge, here's the top shelf of what I can attain. But at
Yeah.
some point, like an art instructor told me, Karen, you could paint on the same painting for the rest of your life, because there'd always be something that you would want to maybe change, or you got enough better that you wanted to add it to this canvas, or for goodness sakes, start making multiple canvases, because yeah, you could paint on the same canvas for the rest of your life because you're always going to be better, the next
I,
day.
I think
Yeah,
I think Leonardo da
and you still
Vinci
only sell it for $100.
Leonardo da Vinci pegs it the best. Art is never finished, merely abandoned.
Hmm.
Yeah, we got to abandon some of it. And Donahue Labs, aka Patrick, said they are squat canisters, so they're single lap cases, just so that you know. But that's exactly what I was looking for. I was wanting the little canister that I put my, like I was saying before, that bat goes in there, and that cerium lap goes in there, and nothing else, just nice and airtight, so that we don't worry about the contamination. Because I have places like actually right behind my head, those are two laps that are sitting there in paper towels. And so if I'm in the middle of a session where I'm going through the laps quickly, then I'll go ahead and just, store them for a few hours that way, or I have to put them all the way away, and bring them back out. And I do use some of the laps want water and some of the laps want oil. And so, or, paste or what have you. And so, some of them are wet, so I don't put them away wet, yada, yada. It would be so nice to have a canister to put those in. So, gonna do it. Storage solutions for the win. And so actually, since I'm on right now, I was uh, I was talking a little bit earlier. We all were talking a little bit earlier about, some of the different storage chests, like the tackle box that Mahnee showed us. And I went ahead and I sprung on, let me see if I can do it without looking at it. On This is a toolbox that they had at Harbor Freight. And for Mahnee, that's just like our cheap tool store.
Yep,
I
we call it
also,
Bunnings here in Australia.
I'm sorry,
Is
go
it
ahead.
Princess there too?
We have our equivalent is Bunnings,
Okay. Yep.
Bunnings.
Gotcha.
They're our Harbour Freight.
Excellent. And so you might look at some of the different things. They have toolboxes, but when I was online looking at this exact same product, and I'm not kidding, same exact product, just slap a different name sticker on it. They probably come from the same warehouse, manufacturer. They were like ridiculously expensive as jewelry box, totes. And I got it at my Harbor Freight for like a tenth of the price that they were asking when you bought it as a jewelry box. And so this is so that I can travel with my faceted gems, my cabochons, and my finished jewelry items if I'm showing them, at a gallery or for a show or what have you. And so nice stout box. And there's all these like super cool little drawers inside. It's plush, and that's why I was kind of surprised when I saw the one. I'm still taking the sticker off of the inside, but it's all felt lined, and like
And
for
it's nice that you can
instance,
pull them, and you can pull the drawers all the way
Ooh.
out. Isn't
yeah.
nice?
So they come all the way out, and so if I'm doing like a show, I can have my stuff, and I actually could build the display around, the actual structure so that it comes up off of a table, so everything's not just flat. And so you can create your storage solution to also actually be part of a mobile solution, a show solution. And so
That's
these
awesome.
guys, yeah, I am so stoked on this. So all of these guys are removable and really easy to put back in.
Allison's saying it's a machinist box. Is that like a sewing machinist? Yeah, cool.
A
Yeah, it's for
metal
tools.
machinist.
Yeah, and so it's got a ton of storage right here, and so I can bring my tools with me. I can put any bulky items like my scale, like the gem scale and stuff that I would need if I needed to do any kind of like light fabrication on site. But then there's heaps of storage here for all of the like my cabochons and that sort of thing that are finished. And so this makes me show ready, and I look like I'm like S together when I land at a spot. If I'm showing, I used to be a gallery owner, and believe me, I appreciated it when somebody walked in the door and they were organized to show their stuff when we had an appointment. And and so, and guess what, it mattered to me if like the way that they presented their stuff looked good. It mattered, because it is somewhat about the looks. And so what I did as far as a solution for my my cabochons, it's gallery putty, or that sticky putty that holds it onto your card, and then I can write the information about what the cabochon is on the card. That's just one solution if you need to take your stuff to go. But even if you don't, if you're just setting it up for yourself, how do you, like, there's the big macro studio solution, like, okay, how do I clean my entire studio and make sure that I know where everything is? But then there's also like every single little jewel that you make, what do you do with it, so that you know either where it is when you want to sell it or where it is when you want to set it? And so I would love to hear people's solutions as far as that's concerned. But this was a nice, quick solution for me, since we've been doing a lot of traveling of late. And I wanted something quality. Go ahead.
In commercial kitchens, they call it mise en place. And it's everything has a place, and there is a place for everything. So,
yeah.
And it does help.
Oh my gosh, yes. And so so too, that they do that sort of thing when you are on a boat. Everything has to have a spot. And not only does it have a spot, but it has a spot where it goes away, and it's not going to be bouncing around a cabin if you're hitting high seas. Who wants their studio to be like a boat? Yeah, it would be so great. Oh, and Ma is back. And I got a little bit behind. Reptile Z is here. And yeah, like Allison and Manny, you called this out, said it was a machinist box. This is a box that everybody can use. Like I know that they sell it on several different platforms as different things. Go to a platform where they expect you to pay less for it than jewelry. Because I kid you not, it was $1,000 at one of the places where I stopped and looked at it. And I was like, I got a killer deal then. I'm glad I didn't stop there first and think I needed to save up for that. The top flips up and there's a mirror inside. And so it even has a mirror. So if I'm like traveling with my jewelry and this was like my little pop-up, to sell, I even have a mirror. I thought it was so flipping cool.
I love that, and I need one.
You do. Harbor Freight, everybody.
It also helps if you get something in your eyeball, you got the mirror to be able to pick it out. So.
Right. Ryan is speaking at Bingaman.
I'm half losing you, so I don't know if my internet is going out or not.
We got circle of death for a second, I think, from everyone, and so I think it was just this is holiday. I think it's holiday crush on our side. There's a lot of people here in town being at the beach because it's warm, and I don't blame them. It's a beautiful day. And what have you got on the dock there?
Honestly, I don't know for sure where that came from. I'm going to assume it was something I got from one of the roughs from Jahik.
That looks a whole lot like a Graveyard Point.
It could be some kind of... so we'll see how it turns out. It's kind of clear on the top, and may end up, since this piece either broke off or there was just the way that the piece was, it probably end up curved on this side, so maybe a half moon shape, if that's the way I go.
Nice, yeah. And Reptile Z says that the Beacon Star TC14 is up and kicking, contained in a sealed cabinet with fume extractor and HEPA filters. Big fun, dude. Congratulations. That is so cool that you got that set up. Awesome. And Rocky Mountain Bear is saying that the whole ship shape situation sounds like heaven. I agree. I want that so bad in my life. I did freeze, but I'm back. And Reptile Z agrees, some sort of sea maggot. There's a lot of the Graveyard Point that has the marcasite that has kind of like a clear gray, almost to blue agate. And then it's got the plumes coming up. So it just looked like maybe some of that from where I was sitting. Yep, I agree. And I also had something here as far as some of the storage solutions that I bet you a lot of y'all have.
Jars.
Pickle jars. And, hate it or love it. I have these lining some of my windowsills, and they're very transient. Like if you're a tumbler, or, if you end up like dispatching stuff to other people a fair amount, I just like having labels. I don't like, this would cause me a certain amount of madness. Like, who are you? And what it's nice because it's clear, so you can tell, like, oh yeah, that was a small material from, that particular rock hound expedition. But when I first started hounding, I made sure to pickle jar the stuff up and label it, and I'm so thankful now that I did that. And some of them even got dates on them.
I would just on kind of that labeling, depending on, especially because I use some of mine for my grids in the media. It's also label the lid the same as you label the container, and maybe put the label on both ends so you can actually see it without having to take everything off if you would only put it on the top.
That's a great point, Ryan. If you were having trouble hearing him, that was putting the information on the lid of the jar as well. And those of you who have bunches of nuts, those bunch of nuts of ya. Same. Really, really cool containers, and you can label them all over. And some of those are even just Sharpieable. What you got there, Ma? Oh, she's also muted, but I bet you she doesn't know.
She doesn't. I finished my little shirt guy, and I forgot to drill a hole because I told him I'd make him a little pendant out of it. But I can go back and do that. But I think it turned out really good.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I was saying, it'd be interesting to see how that polished up, and it turned out great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it's
Very cool.
it's basically a Jasper. Yeah, it's SiO2 with little buddies included. So yeah, it turned out good. He was curious how they'd polish up, so I told him I'd do one for him, and I was like, I might as well make you a cab if I'm bothering. And yeah, I like it, and I think he'll like it too.
Oh, for sure. That is just gorgeous. Will you indulge us with a picture over on the Discord, perhaps?
Sure.
That would be awesome.
In the fossils. I think there's one more day to put stuff in the fossils area.
Yes. Very, very good reminder there too. And so Rocky Mountain Bear is saying that explains a tiny bit of the madness then. Labelless pickle jars, yes, and coffee cans, he says. And then Allison is saying also Old Spice containers for small chips. Girlfriend, I put my sunstones and garnet rough and the stuff that, like, I'll parse them into the spice jars. That is a great way to use them. Plus, I put acetone for submerging dops that need to be my dop sticks that I use the epoxy with. If it's an opal and I can't get it hot to free it from the dop, I'll submerge it into a spice jar because it's thin and long, and the dop goes in without having to use too much acetone, if that makes sense to anybody, and hopefully that's helpful for somebody. Oh, criminy! What are you doing to my eyes?
I just got this from Allison.
Woo.
And I think I said I'd make something for her. But even if I didn't, I'm making something for her with this little piece.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll see.
And
Is
also,
that from coral or?
Go ahead.
What?
Is that a piece of coral agate or like?
I can't remember. I know she was in the chat earlier. I don't know if she still is. Maybe she could remind us what this is. It's beautiful is what I see. I don't have any idea what it is. I just saw this and I was like, this needs to be a live edge cab real bad. So she sent it to me to make that happen.
Nice. Oh, that's beautiful. And Romania is talking about boxes with the plexiglass tops. And like, Ma is in this enviable position of being where she can go to Tap Plastics. Yeah, and I miss it so much because being able to get boxes that are very specific, that are clear, is so nice to be able to do. And so that's actually a really good reminder there too. If you don't do the spice jars, then plexi boxes are so good. And Kid Curry thought that she meant the Old Spice. Yeah, Old Spice. Like the cologne and deodorant, body spray or whatever. I apologize. Please do not be doing that to your rocks. That was not what I was talking about. Let's see. And so, Mahnee, you got some more for us?
What have I got on the spot?
Hot seat. Hot seat.
I found a rock.
You did. You've got a rock in there.
Here's another one. Trying to think.
Oh.
On the spot. On the spot.
I'll show a rock while you're thinking.
Okay.
Here's some more of that. I don't even know if, like, it's almost too big for me to fit in the frame here. This is some more of that chrysople, and or yeah, I said that right. It's like the chrysoprase opal stuff. Who here has worked this stuff, and does it look like it's going to be as dreamy as I am hoping for? And I'm going to actually change the hot seat to over there to Ma, who is muted, to ask directly, have you worked with this stuff, Ma?
Not yet. I forgot I had it, if I'm going to be honest with you. I just completely forgot I had it in use. And I was like, oh, yeah. And see, that box, I didn't put a label on, so I didn't know what was in it, but I remembered. Yesterday, I was looking for stuff, and yeah, I just happened to see that it was in there. Yeah, so yeah, no, not yet. I'm looking forward to it, muchly.
Cool. All right.
What is the country of origin of that?
The country of origin?
Australia?
This is a good question. Let me see if any of these are labeled, unless Ma knows off the top of her head.
I know that there is, and I don't think that that's where this particular stuff is from, but I do know that they have it in California. But okay. I don't know if it's anywhere near the same kind of quality or what. And unfortunately, I cannot remember where that stuff is from. I think his friend had it, if I'm remembering correctly. Hopefully there's somebody in the chat that bought some and remembers. I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, chat.
Looks a little bit like dendritic opalite that we get in Western Australia here. I don't know if, so what are you calling it? Chryso-opal?
Yeah, it's chrysople, and so it's got that like oceany sea green, and so it's not quite like potchy. And it does have dendrites in it. Like the better pieces have some nice dendritic growth. And so are you thinking maybe it might
Western
be
Australian.
from there?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, just so I've got some similar stuff. Like I know it comes in green and yellows from Western Australia. I've got some of the yellow stuff, and I've got some of the what are they calling it? Merlinite, which looks very similar to that.
Oh.
But Prospector Paul, he collects a fair bit of that sort of stuff. And I think it.
Is this looking familiar? Here's another lump of it, and it's actually getting washed out by my lighting. So my lighting is poor. Here's what the rind looks like. You know,
that's what
kind outside.
That white rind is what kind of got me. Yeah, got the pattern recognition going a little bit. I wonder if I've got any.
Yeah, and then it's really pretty. Like I don't know how much of this body color is going to remain when you start slicing it. I'm hoping it stays. And let's get you back up here. Oh yeah, so look at that.
Yeah. So
they 100% have it in Australia. I looked it up.
What's that, Ma?
They 100% have it in Australia. I just looked it up. Yeah. And they have it in Tanzania and Indonesia and California. Just so you know.
Did I say hi to Tara? Good to see you, Tara. Thanks for coming in.
That's another piece as well too. Just that, and it does come in a like pale green, like very, very pale green, and pale yellows as well too. And it's a little bit like a combination. Like you'll get parts where it's clear here. That's more chalcedony. Sorry, I've got the cameras going the opposite way. The clear bits are more like chalcedony, and then the white bits are more like common opal. So you can get a little bit of undercutting happening.
Oh, yeah. And, Reptile Z was like, our brains are all going in the same direction, asking about what hardness it feels like. And so Reptile Z was asking, is it soft like common opal? And so it sounds like, what would you say?
Well, like I said, there can be parts that are really, really soft, and then there can be parts that are really, really hard. Like it's like how do you put it? Like a conglomerate of two stones. Like you got part of it being chalcedony and part of it being common opal, like potch.
Gotcha. And Romania was asking, did you call it merlinite?
Yeah, that's like the common localized name that they have for it in Western Australia. That specific one where you've got the like the white and the clear translucent and the white, they call that merlinite. Common opal, potch, opalite.
Right.
These are all
Yeah.
kind of not to be confused with the synthetic opalite as well too. People were calling it opalite before it became trademarked.
Right. Yeah. In fact, I know that over at the gem fields, there's an opalite pit. And, people do, unfortunately, there's so much market name out there that, you know, you can't even call the things that they are, because other people will think that there's things that they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that was like
Common
abundantly
opal
clear.
and potch are the same thing, just
Right.
different names.
Yep, yep. But opalite definitely has some irritation among different markets. Does anybody like, I don't think I was around the live stream when this purple rock went up, and Soul Adventurist got this for me, and I'm so
Right.
excited about it, but I don't know what it is.
Lepidolite?
So send
Is
to
that purple?
Soul. Or send to Karen from Soul.
It looks like purpurite to me.
Purpurite?
Yeah.
All right.
I ain't no expert.
That sounds good to me. And thank you so much, Soul. If you're out there somewhere in
Purple.
the ether. I love this purple so much. It's gorgeous. And I had meant to be around when Kyla was doing it, and I missed it like every time. And so this is going to be super fun to play with. I wonder if I dare cut it or if I leave it. Hey, Ma, have you tried to do purpurite before?
No. The only piece I've ever had of it was very low quality, and it was really powdery.
Okay.
So I haven't tried. So yeah, I'm not the person to ask about that one.
Wild was talking on her live stream, the sale that she was doing, about doing some of the stabilizing. And I know that Ryan has done some stabilizing too. I'm interested in maybe getting a vacuum and doing some of the cactus juice. Has anybody else here done some playing, or do you want to weigh in on that, Ryan or Mahoney? Have you?
I've looked into it, but yeah, no, I haven't done any myself. Because there's been some Australian turquoise on the market at the moment, or a while ago, and it was unstabilized. So I was kind of looking into, and it was going relatively cheap, and it was nice looking stuff. But yeah, I was looking into the whole process of the cactus juice, and it was a little bit too messy for my little space, so I
Uh-huh.
passed on that. But yeah, you basically use the pressure cooker, don't you, to or a vacuum of some sort?
Yeah, yeah, and so the Ryan played with some different kind of DIY, and I'm intrigued in doing any of it. This is actually a piece of salamalane that Mr. Rick did get for me. So thank you, Rick, if you're out there. This is some fun that I'll have fun setting. And so Ryan, did you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, I tried a couple different methods, both the vacuum and the pressure, with mixed results. But as you said, I was trying to do more on the DIY side of it, and I found, at least if you're, at least for me, if you're doing anything acetone based, stay away from anything that has plastic in it.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I think I kind of messed up because I was using like a Harbor Freight bleeder and vacuum pump, and it kind of worked the first time, but then it got into all the things, and the internal
Oh,
plastic parts from the pump were starting to erode even after the first, because you're pulling those acetone vapors in to there. So unless you can get, because even like the Vivor ones, people online were saying that those can even deteriorate after a while, even kind of the actual real vacuum pumps. And so I just kind of be careful if you're doing that, because I really wasn't finding anything cheap that you could arrest that acetone, because I was looking at finding if I could find like an activated charcoal filter to put on an airline, and I wasn't finding anything that was at least cheap enough that I was going to try it. And then on the kind of on the pressure side, I I kind of messed up on that because I was just trying to use a water pipe, and I didn't know how to seal it, and so I messed up the threads, and so I'd have to kind of try to redo that. But I hear, from what I hear, both work. Like I said, I had limited results. You probably do want to find the thinnest um, epoxy if you're doing that method, if you're not using the commercial cactus juice, because I just don't think kind of the first epoxy that I was doing, I just don't think it was thin enough to penetrate into the stone. But as I said, this one, I would probably have to market it if I sold it as um, stabilized, just because it was in, but I don't think it got to the middle. Maybe the outsides were about the closest thing that um, was on there. But I do see that Vivor and whatever have pretty cheap pressure pots, as well as I think vacuum chambers. That might be the way to go if you're looking at doing more than one off.
Awesome. Cliff is saying Purpurite is picky about stabilization. Water glass works well, but water-based Starbond kills the color. Not sure about epoxy. That's good information. And then, as per what you were talking about, Ryan, an aquarium carbon filter should remove acetone, says Reptile Z, which is a
Yeah,
good.
I think if
That
I think
sounds
if you
good.
could get I think if you could get that into a airline, I didn't even think of anything on there, and it didn't come up on any searches. But yeah, it'll definitely be something to look at for that, because it's simpler to get a vacuum pump than a pressure pump. Because with pressure, I guess with both of them, excuse me, you have to be able to seal it. But I found the pressure one is kind of a little harder to do, because you also have different gauges to be
Gotcha.
able to make sure that you're not leaking. So
Yeah.
But thanks for that reptile.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good suggestion. And Romania, you were correct. This here is an Ocho agate that Miss Ma actually decided to get for me during the Kyle sale. And I remember this. It was like so yellow and fun and fiery that I thank you very much, Ma. I can't wait to play with this little guy.
Please do.
So awesome. It just makes me smile, but yellow things always do.
It's done its
So
job
pretty.
then.
Pretty. Yes, it has. And are you going from one thing to another there?
Oh, I just switched to this. Don't. No, I did not use this to sharpen my pencil. That didn't happen. Right before I was.
Busted.
There's no sharp pencils around here. I don't know what you're talking about. But
Brilliant idea.
hey, it's right here, right? And I needed my pencil to be sharper.
I would love to take a poll right now. Who has sharpened their pencil and or like flattened their wooden dop sticks on their lapidary equipment?
Yeah, so guilty, obviously.
Yep.
I mean, I put stuff far worse that are called rocks on my flat lap, so I would think a pencil or something, a dop stick would be okay.
Right? Like whenever my dot sticks get wonky, I'll just go ahead and break out an old lap and just flatten all of them all over again and start over. Because every now and again they get kind of upset with the wax, or they get broken off, like the tinier ones. So yeah, that's what they're for, right?
What's funny, even on the belt sander, you're talking about becoming wonky. When I put them on the belt sander, they end up even being wonkier. So I don't know what I'm gaining. I can't hold it at a 90-degree angle.
Oh man, that's the worst when you don't have a 90-degree angle dop.
Oh yeah.
Like, why can't I get this thing straight? You go to set it as the jeweler and it's like,
Yeah, I was even when I first started, especially doing the UV resin. That since I've known Ma, since I've been doing lapidary, was using had a dop that you just can't, that doesn't want to stay upright, is a bad thing. So.
Oh yeah, and Tara's saying that's like using the sewing scissors for paper. Yeah, anybody else doing that?
I got multiple pairs, so the one that I use for paper, I don't feel bad about.
Yeah, it's a good idea to have many of those, like, really super sharp scissors that are good for fabric, and then sometimes they get relegated to other things. But I write with Sharpie all over the blades, like fabric only. Then sometimes they last. But the struggle is real as far as that's concerned. And we have another Ocho here, a big crystally cavern. And this guy is also a gift. I believe this one is from Rick. Let's turn this bad boy over and see. Yep, that's upside down for Rick. And so there's a lovely little world in there. These are the ones that I feel tempted, like Ma. I want to fill it with small things, like make a little clan of the cave bear cave.
Oh yeah, it's ready. It's ready for it, Karen.
It totally is. Like, I might actually have to like cast little things in metal and make like a little
Please.
diorama in there.
Please do this.
I am so tempted. And like I said, I need a practice project for when I do the unboxing of the tabletop furnace. That might just have to happen,
Please do.
right?
Fire.
Fire. And we have a Cave of Wonders. It is. It's a total Cave of Wonders. Especially when you don't know that it's coming. I wonder who got this for me and why it's in my box. I kind of like that. That's kind of fun. When this showed up in the mail, I thought I was getting a very small box, a normal small box, and it was like this bigger box, and I had no idea why. And there's just all these extra rocks in it from people, which is also very fun, kind of like Christmas. We've got another piece of salamoline. And whenever I say that, I feel like I need to ba ba da da da, right? Yeah. I think I bought this one. And yet it looks like these guys, I might have an earring pair. Do I need to put the ba ba da 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 on my ears? I think I might.
Hey, Karen, I got
Yes.
to, my phone is about dead, so I got to pop out the connection that's for the lapel mic, and I'll go back to use my headset. It may lose me for a little bit audio-wise.
Okay. We'll stand by, Ryan, and let you know when you come back that we can hear you. Thanks for checking in. All right. And we've got you've got your cab dopped up now. Are you have you reached the size that you are looking to create the cab out of?
Maybe it'll be this will all be determined with that before I move on from this disc. I don't like how wide it is right now, but I'm giving it a shot, and then I'll see if I want to leave it like this or trim it down a little bit more. I'm undecided. I usually figure this out. I draw it. I take pictures and then draw out what I want, and that's how I come up with the final idea. But I obviously didn't have time to do that, so I'm just trying, and we'll see. But
right on. I always tell people. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's a beautiful stone, so I'm having fun.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. And when I've talked to people before, when they're watching a project that is, say, their stone, and I check in with them, I always tell them, like, I can make it smaller, but I can't make it bigger once I make it smaller. So it's kind of good to.
Once the smoke's out of the can, you can't put it back in.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like it's not my personal taste to have it this wide at the top, but it also works with it. So I'm just going to see how I feel about it. Once I just get the shape a little bit more refined, I'll probably leave it. But yeah, you can't add it back, but you can take it away later.
Looks a little bit like a shark going for a chomp if you go sideways.
What?
Other sideways.
One more time?
Yeah. There.
What?
Yep, like that.
Oh, you like it sideways.
Like a jog?
Yeah.
He needs like a little eye. Oh, wait, yeah, he has an eye. Yeah, I mean, it is very shark-like in this direction. We'll see what happens.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
Well played.
And Reptile Z was saying, I try to keep studs 14 carats or less for the stone. And yeah, I definitely think that there are modes where you can have a stone be like a bigger stone if you've got like a comfort back, and it is the thing that's sitting on the ear. And so, I wouldn't be afraid. These ones are 13 carats. I just so happen to have my scale right here. And I wouldn't worry about wearing these if they were on my ear. I probably wouldn't dangle them, because then you look at maybe making yourself have like the droopy ear ripping your ear hole, all those like gauges, whatever. I've already done that actually to my ears. So don't need to go back in time and re-injure my ear holes anymore. Yeah, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. I'm wondering, usually when I make earrings, I weigh them when they're finished, and I like to keep the grams, like maybe 3 grams to 5 grams, anything higher than that. And then I think the standard, if you look online, is that you shouldn't go over 8 grams, and that's like pretty dang heavy, actually. And so, I'm always thrilled if I can keep the like any of my dangle earrings like in kind of like the 3 gram and less kind of range. But it is something to think about. And yeah, don't do big sizes. I think that they are too heavy for where they're supposed to be. Exactly. Yeah, we don't want to wreck our ear holes. Or go into mosh pits with your earrings, your big clunky earrings in is something that I don't advise to do as a teenager and wreck your ears way back then. Not that anybody sitting here right now did that.
That sounds terrible.
What's that?
That sounds terrible and painful.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do it. Hindsight's 2020. Here's some more of this material that was from Kyle's. Absolutely gorgeous chrysocolla. Here is some more. Whoa. That I unveiled earlier. And I am so in love with this. You guys know that my summer collection is based on blues and greens. And that was actually what we were doing over on the Discord also. And then you add some of this gorgeous material to the palette. Let me get this back here. Look at that. I mean, these colors want to play together so bad, along with some of the tourmalines. Where did I put all that? And so in addition to that, and how about, here's kind of like an aqua colored, talk about storage solutions. Here's another place where I've been lately, is trying to get all of my gems into marked gem holders. And so how about something like that together?
Oh yeah, that's
right. And so this is a tourmaline that came off the dock just within the last few days, and it's tiny. I'm working with some small tourmaline because I am not only practicing with the medium, like that rock is very specific to how it acts. So I'm working my smalls, and then I'll like, as I'm getting better with them, go bigger. But I was looking for that kind of oceany green, and this one was just screaming at me. It started off probably at about, twice its size. And let's see, I did the solid. So this is what I'm working on doing. So this is a tourmaline that is 0.2 carats, 3.7 millimeters, and it's in the ruination cut. And so I'm just doing all of my gemstones that way so that they're ready to go. I will probably set this one, but at the very least, if somebody wanted to acquire it while I was on the road or something like that, then I would have all the information ready so that if I wanted to try to price it, I could.
that's pretty.
What's that?
I said that's pretty smart. That system.
I don't know. I don't smart very often, but today I'm aspiring. This is what all this organization stuff is all about. But, when I make these pairings in the studio, I usually have to, it's over. Like stuff starts to happen immediately. And this actually brings me to one of our other organizational points. I know Ma does this, but there are people. What's that?
I said that's so pretty. I don't know what you're talking about, Karen. I don't have anything in any shell. That's just
Let me swap this out. Hold on, hold on.
what do you mean? What do you mean?
You
They
got a
are
good
the
looking
same.
shell there too.
Someone needs to take better care of their things. There's dust all over that. But yeah, I definitely employ the vessel. I mean, yeah, I don't have anything like that. Like I don't store anything in stuff it's not like I don't know what you mean. That's just
Right? These are storage
what,
solutions though. Like this is how
what?
I keep, yes. The projects that are supposed to be awake in my mind and not put away like without doing something with, I try to keep them in like an active little vessel. They need to be separated from everything else on my workbench, so I put them in, like I love sushi soy sauce little containers, like the ceramic kind that you'd find in the sushi bar that is just a little soy sauce container. We use those. We've got, it looks like a little glass bowl there, Ma, if you'd show that again.
I dump stuff out of this to show you my tiny sauce bowl. Like
Yep.
what do you mean? What do you mean, Karen?
Yep. Yep. Oh yes. And Mahnee for the win. We have the
Lids up the things as well too.
oh, those pickle jars that
Pickles
had
lid.
the rocks in them? Yeah, those lids become containers for projects for sure.
I'm having
And
to. Oh, sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm creating a surface where there isn't one because I need to dot this in the middle. So I'm adding hot glue.
Oh, excellent.
I
And
just
then here we
needed to
go.
dot it here, not down here.
The lids from the coffee jars here in Australia.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a lovely thing because it's got that like solid base, so you can't knock it over.
That's
And you can
perfect.
shine light through them as well too because they're glass. So you can
Ooh,
underlight.
backlighting.
Yeah.
Nice. And so that is another like kind of an active storage solution for those of you who have like a lot of on your jewelry bench separate projects that are in different stages of being done. I like to put, after I've done the eyeball of like, oh, do I like these things together? Then I'll go ahead and put them in their dish. And I mean, even these little shells are stackable. So I'll have a stack of like 4 or 5 projects, and they don't take up very much room, and yet they're not put away so I forget about them, because if I don't see them anymore, oh, there's our frequency of light going there. If I don't see it anymore, I'll forget that I'm working on it. No kidding. So it's got to be alive in my eye or else it dies.
That's how my tray of chaos was born.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or a friend sends you dishes to be able to cut up, and they end up holding rocks.
Yeah, like this one.
Ma is ever the example haver.
Yeah, I have like 12. I started doing a thing where I was cutting up old dishware because it has carvings and stuff in it. Like, see that
Oh
dent?
yeah.
So I was kind of making doublets where I'll put agate on the back and then this vintage glass on the front, which is a lot of fun. But the thing is then people send me stuff and they're so pretty, like this, that I don't want to cut it. So I'll just wait till I accidentally knock this over and then I'll make jewelry with it.
Right. Wait till it breaks of its own accord.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so great. And yeah, Reptile Z is giving you props for being a pro. That's awesome. And Terrace Treasures is talking about larger candle lids would be good too. Yeah, those great big candles. And so I know a lot of you, you might use those things over again or dispose of them after the candle's gone. But these are storage solutions. I know I have quite a few rocks, like tumbles that are already finished that are beautiful in old candle jars because they're so pretty. Like the candle jar itself was really pretty. And so it's a storage solution. If you can put it in it so that it's not just wandering around and, commingling
I
with
have,
everything else.
I have to find the topaz I just dropped on the floor. So
Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh no!
Moving
I'll be back.
on.
You guys talk amongst yourselves while I crawl around looking for it.
Will
Hey
do.
Karen, how is
Yes.
how is the sound now that I'm on the soft wheels?
It sounds great.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah,
'cause
you're sounding awesome.
I know you muted me a few times when I was on the hard ones.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that you were loud. It was just that for the StreamYard, it was deciding to highlight your sound over somebody who was talking, and so
Yep.
it would get like the talking would get garbly, and so it wasn't personal.
Oh no, I appreciate it. Just a couple times I didn't notice till I looked down and it was flashing that I was muted. But,
Gotcha.
I would mute myself if it was a problem.
Absolutely. And Patricia's Creations is saying, I got a Jelly Belly machine and it's filled with tumbles. That must look so cool. So, like a jelly bean or a chewing gum machine, definitely storage and decoration. I'm going to look for a gumball one too. Yeah.
The other one that does that have kind of some corner hutches and whatever in the house, and for stuff like the tumbles, I got I used even like older candy dishes. I used so the tumbles don't roll away all over the place. So just kind of those ideas for displaying versus storage is kind of fun to see what you can find too.
And ceramic pots for succulents is another solution. So I love all of the different things that you guys are offering in the chat, because some of them certainly haven't occurred to me. I have succulents that are on top of the succulents, or rather, around the succulent base is a bunch of rocks that I don't have any other place for. And so who puts their rocks on their houseplants? Because there's a storage solution there. And it looks like Dave Lou is here. Hello. And Tara's Treasures is saying 47 projects in process. Yeah, I totally heard that. And you're painting, I believe what you say you are painting is maybe the gumball machine that you were talking about before over here, working in a gumball machine. And I'll bet you that's working on a gumball machine. Are you actually inside? And do we need to put a quarter in to get you out?
It's a penny. It's an old one.
A penny.
Yeah, it's an old one.
She just can't reach around and get, to the money dispenser. And I've got another piece of salamalane here that I must have purchased. I love it when I forget what I got. And so I'm sorry, hand drift there. You can see the cool squiggles there. I will be working on some pieces with salamalane for sure in the very, very near future. I love this. You should know the name of this, Mahnee. Mukane Gane, is that what Mukame Gane? It's when they layer the metals that are different colors, like the silver, gold, rose gold.
Oh,
It's a
I think it
Japanese.
is. Yeah,
Yeah, I think I said it
is
right.
what you were saying. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was looking at that the other day. Actually, it's real fascinating how they do it too.
It would be so cool to be able to make it. And this salamalane always reminds me how much I want to make salamalane and makame gane, I think it is. I always say it wrong. But yeah, it would look so smashing set in that. If you buy it pre-made, like sheet, it is wicked expensive.
I suppose it'd
So
be like the equivalent of Damascus, but for jewelry.
yes,
Basically.
yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you for saying that, because those who don't know what language I'm saying, or what I'm trying to talk about, Damascus for fine metal is exactly a good explanation. And I guess it was originally, the sword makers that would bend and meld a bunch of different colored metals together, and then they'd make a great big sword blade out of it. And I mean, the stuff is just drop dead gorgeous.
They wondered, like they found some of the older swords they discovered had like super high iron content, which was unusual for Japan because the ore that they had wasn't that high in iron. But they worked out that in the ceremony, when they brush mold the blade with bamboo, with the bamboo brush, the iron in the bamboo was actually translating into the blade and making it harder.
A
How's that
mechanical
for-
bond. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is so wicked cool. Thank you for that
And
factoid.
accidental, like you don't know how much on purpose, but it was all part of the ritualization of folding the blade.
And yeah, you're welcome, Dave. Everybody needs some of that crucible. We were just looking at some of it earlier. I'm unboxing that very box, and so cheers to you, Dave. And we've obviously got some pretty petersite here that this stuff, it never fails to entertain. You could just like gaze into that ocean forever. And
Is
I
that got
always think,
Chatoyancy or?
oh, mad chatoyancy, like super juiced. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
So
see
I'm
it there.
thinking, yeah, this would look really good with some of that London blue topaz. And
Oh.
right. And I love it. I
Stuff's
love
so
your
hot.
reaction. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, and maybe some aquamarine. I think that, the three would just be smashing to pair together. I'm so into cabochons and faceted jewels together. I think that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
look
it's a
so
good look. I
cool.
like that. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good marriage of stones and disciplines as well too.
for sure. And I think that as far as like visual interest, the cabochon is a large body and a soft plane for the eyes to take a rest on, and then they get like the brilliance and the all of the angles and super focused visual interest in the faceted gems. So it's really, as far as a composition artistically goes, it gives the eye, some different textures and interests to be able to look at.
And being able to direct the eye as well too, like draw the eye in. Like the bling
Exactly.
gets you, and then you're like, ooh. Let's have a
Right.
close. Yeah, yeah.
Well, so as like just a piece to put together, there's one thing, but if it's yours and you look at it every day, is it going to be entertaining or like gain your love every time you look at it? That's like my objective. you know?
Yeah, that's a really good aspect of it as well too. Like to look at, like, is someone going to get bored of this, or are they going to love it forever? Like, is it a forever piece?
Right. And so, if it's got like fidget fodderness, or you know what I mean? Like if it's got like this extra added bonus of the, like, oh my gosh, I'm looking at you right now and I never saw you this way before, and I've had you for a year. Like that's what I would love, the piece to keep on giving, rewarding its viewer with all of its attention.
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah. And so
It's kind of
Reptile
like
Z is
that
saying,
loop
oh, go
moment.
ahead.
It's kind of like that loop moment when you get your first loop and you start looking at everything like, oh, like getting
Right.
right up and having a look at the details.
Oh, it's so true. Like, I mean, have you ever been looking through the loop so long that you go to do something? This happens to me especially at night. Like I've been looking at things underneath the loop or doing my faceting, and my two eyes don't see the same anymore. I'm like trying to get
Yep.
myself a cup of tea or something, and like the loop eye does not want to comply. You know, it's
Or
been, dialed
Kind of
into
messes with
20x.
your depth of perception a little, eh?
Yeah, completely. Yeah. Like careful on the stairs. Yeah.
pretty just to walk around with one eye closed.
Pretty much. Seriously. Yeah, it'll be so wrong. And Reptile Z is saying that is a banger. I've been picking up some local moonstone from Mississippi River dredge piles around here. It's not so brilliantly colored, but it is chatoyant. Yes. And go ahead.
Oh, well, Tara asked where Peter Site's from. I was going to tell her.
What's that?
Tara was asking where Peter Site is from.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, it's from, oh my goodness, my brain just blinked out. I think it's Namibia, I believe. And they also have it in China, but it's got a slightly different color variation. But those are the two places I know of that it comes from.
Yeah, and so yeah, here's that question. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm not like super thorough today on the chat, and I apologize to everyone for that. And so yeah, thank you for the deets.
You're
And
welcome.
I thought it came from Peter. Like, thanks, Peter, for the Petersite. Here's some of the moonstone from back east, and this is some that Jerry of Wisconsin Rockstalker shared with me. He made this cab, and he stabilized this material, and it is shockingly gorgeous.
Wow, that's funky.
Yeah. And so it's got kind of like that spidery looks like labradorite when it's not turned on. There it is, not turned on, which actually I find that very appealing all by itself. That's a good look too.
Agreed.
And then there's a lot of visual interest when it's not turned on. And then when you get it into the neon lights, and I'm sorry, I'm like trying to find it without a whole bunch of reflection on it, which is going to be difficult. But you see that it's got like aqua blue all the way through ultramarine blue to a little bit of purple in there. And I love this stuff so flippin' much. And so, yeah,
You said
you were,
stabilized. Like, what do you mean by stabilizing the moonstone? Is that because of all the cracks in it, or?
yeah, it can be so flippin' dodgy to work with this particular stuff that, if you want it to hold together, it's kind of a nice idea if you stabilize it. And so Jerry has been doing like I think he's been doing a fairly simple stabilization. I can't, like, shoes. I don't think that Jerry's here, but you can kind of see a little bit here, the shine of it on the back.
Is it because does it have a cleavage plane? Is it like, is that
Yes, it's a
why it's that?
feldspar. It's a
Yeah,
feldspar, so it's got two wicked bad cleavage planes.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pretty
Okay,
sure.
that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. If you look at it wrong, it's going to fall apart in your hand kind of bad.
Ouch.
Oh, this is great. Thank you so much, Patricia. So Wisconsin Rockstalker, if you go over to his channel here on YouTube, he has a video on how he does it. And so if you're interested, he sent me some that was stabilized to work on, and I don't think that my cabochon that I made is in like arm's reach right this second. I'm glad that his was. but it was a breeze to work with. And then he sent me some as kind of, I think, like a challenge, some that wasn't stabilized. And so I'm going to work with that too and see like how much hair I pull out while doing it. And so we've got some more of the Petersite here, and you can see how chatoyant it is.
Man, that's pretty.
Oh man, it so doesn't suck.
Very cool.
Yeah, so pretty. And this piece, goodness gracious, this piece is from Rick. So thank you, Rick, again. He does go on some jags where you end up being a recipient of a bunch of cool stuff. Thank you so much. I do like the crowd over there at World of Rockhound sales. Really do take care of each other so nicely. It's very sweet. And Reptile Z is saying, I have a hard time getting feldspar through my trim saw without crumbling. Exactly. It is so hard. I mean, it's not so hard. It's so cleavy. If it was a little harder, it would be easier to work with. But it does like to crumble. I always hold my breath when I'm cutting my sunstones down to get ready to facet. Because yeah, you could go from a nice big juicy, 10 carat stone or more to like 2 carats in no time flat. Yeah. And that's before you start, faceting, because it's going to lose, a half to 3/4 of its weight just from you faceting it. So you try to hold it together for as long as possible. This is a really neat piece. Did I get this? I guess I did. I bought this. That's cool.
Wow,
I must have been
beautiful.
going crazy. Yeah. Yeah, me
No, I remember when you got that one. Because I almost did, yeah. You saved me money. Thank you.
So I think I'm going to be needing to do some more of these tourmaline. I do have quite a few more of these small tourmaline, and then I have some more that are bigger that are that color of teal. So should I stick a little guy in the window?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's exactly what we were all thinking.
And I think it wants to be a little bit more aqua teal colored than the one I've got right here. No?
Yeah, but I can see where you're going, and that's beautiful.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to look awesome.
Yeah, that's what's going to need to happen with that guy. We've got a few yeses in the peanut gallery. Yes. Yes. Wait. Yes. Okay. The illustrious crowd has spoken. Yeah, we'll definitely do something like that. Oh, and we've got to do it. All right. Will do. Hey, so Mahnee,
yes.
Let me know. We love for you to hang out for as long as you possibly can, and yet at the same time, I know that you're on the different side of the world with a different clock added to it, and so don't let me keep you if I'm keeping you from anything that you got to do.
No, I'm having a rest day today. I had a pretty big week last week, and just having a bit of a chill week this week. So yeah, happy to hang out. I missed out on a few of the lives as well too, so I'm making up for it.
Yeah, you are. You're gonna make up for it all in one foul swoop.
It's fun hanging out, so this is good.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you so much for spending the time with us. It's such a pleasure to have you along on board. So this was the first one that I acquired from that day. And I was only going to get one piece of Petersite. I was like,
famous last words.
Yeah. I'm like, I need more cabochons, like a hole in the head. But then he pulled out, he's like, okay, it's time for Petersite. And I'm like, oh, but that's going to look so good with, gemstones. And
It's
so,
got that real lightning flash to it too. I really like that.
yeah, the pattern in this one, beguiled me into like beating everybody else for claiming, which is not easy. Like Kyle's
Yeah.
lives, like you've gotta have really fast internet that day to get some of
Or
these things claimed.
precognitive skills.
So this one's going to be such a fun one to pair some gemstones with, and it just felt like it was small enough that I could make a nice dainty uh pendant with it, but also I was very tempted into making a ring because the pendants are something that you can wear that other people get to see, but you don't get to see it very often. But if you make a ring or a bracelet, then you get to see it for as long as you're wearing it. So you're at a stoplight, you're at the bank,
I'm going to make a
you're
good statement ring, eh?
yeah, I think it would make an outstanding statement ring. And so, I mean, it's not even close to being too big, you know? Like
Heck
that's
yeah.
even
That's
small for
perfect.
a statement,
That's perfect.
right? And so I'm thinking like big fat blue London blue topaz like at the round end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of
All the
where
way
my
around.
head's at. All the way. Oh my gosh, like a halo. Oh goodness gracious. I'm a little bit addicted to doing gypsy setting. And so don't even say that because I might end up doing it. You joke, but like here, we might be looking at that exact thing. It would be so cool. Oh my gosh, I got to bring it back for 1 second. And everybody, let's have a group hallucination while I describe to you what would be super cool to do. Did you like group hallucination, Ma?
Yeah, it made me chuckle.
Okay, imagine this. At the bottom, it could start off like deep, dark London blue, tiny halo. And as
Oh,
it went around the sides, I could do an ombre through
okay.
lighter blue and finish at the top with a white topaz because I know you can get them in all of the different shades.
Yep.
Should we do that?
That has to happen.
And do you think at that point it would ever leave my finger?
And that's okay.
And that's okay. I make only jewelry for myself, like my accountant, next year is like, what? You spent all this money on supplies for your business, but you didn't make anything.
Where's the money?
You're getting
I
a
think
great
they
big
call that negative
refund.
gearing.
Yes, that's how I beat the tax system, is that I don't have to pay.
Don't sell any of it.
Sorry. Right?
Sorry if you wanted to eat or anything like that. Sorry.
Yeah, there is
Criminals
that
are cheap.
like sticky point. is you kind of have to make money to be able to go mining and do all the things, but yeah, a little bit more salamaline there. I was obviously having a problem only buying one piece of that as well. Yep, I bought that. Sometimes I have to check it, like, okay, did somebody get me that? Because I thought I was trying to be good that day, and no, I can't even blame somebody else for getting me that. But it happens. Oh,
Karen.
yes. What, Ma?
I said Karen got Karen that.
Oh yes, Karen got Karen that. I just heard the Karen part, and I'm like, yes. I'm waiting to get in trouble. Like, Karen. Okay, and so obviously we have a piece of purple labradorite here. Nom nom nom. And
it looks like a butterfly wing.
Right.
Like the patterns.
So delicious. And so I've been really digging my teeth into, or sinking my teeth into, or chewing on, or whatever the terminology might want to be, with the amethysts. Has been kind of my jam right now. This is a little preview that I wasn't going to show, but I am.
We
We
won't tell.
have, although two of you have seen this already, I think. Oh no, actually, even Ryan has. We've got a sunstone, a Lake County diamond, and an amethyst here. And they're all cut in the oppositional defiance cut.
Oh, so you
And
did get another one.
I did. I squoze one out. Yes. Hold on just a second. Hold it up. Hold it up. Hold it up. There we go. It's this, y'all. Read that, and because I have cried real tears.
It's a tricky one. I cried just looking at it.
It's not an easy cut, but as you just saw, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna take one out just because I can't resist. I
Oh,
just,
you've got to share it with the
yeah.
class.
I'm going to share
Yeah.
with the class, and then we'll see more of it. Rufo was threatening that tomorrow might be the day that he does the Lake County Diamond thing video.
Nice.
All right, let's see if I can do this. Sorry, everybody, for not having this in like the most brilliant setup, but trying to. It's okay. My phone is probably best right there, and I don't have it. I can't pan in on account of
Fiction Zoom, like
it won't do that because of being attached to the platform.
the bugger.
It's so
And so
pretty.
you can see where it windows, Mahnee. But what's neat about the window is that, see how it's since it's all bar cuts, you get reflection of bar cut even in the window. And so it's like
Forks is renowned for that as well too. Like I think unless you go like, you know, certain point of an angle, that it's a little bit unavoidable with quartz.
right. And yet because it's kind of like a 3-way pixel cut, it still does a reflection that's kind of, you know, interesting and pleasing to the eye. And so I was so surprised that I mean, Arya Akivan is the creator of this particular cut, guys, and he's one of my favorite gem designers, and I don't know how, like, he's just so smart about the way that he sets stuff up. Even where it's supposed to, you know, when it windows out and is supposed to be like not that interesting, it's still really interesting. I love it. Yeah, yeah, he's so good. What would you say your favorite designer is right now, Mahnee?
Oh, the guy that did the Smithsonian bar. Like I was just looking at his stuff the other day.
I'm sorry, one more time?
The guy that did the Smithsonian bar, the bar cut.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, I'll just do a quick search.
Oh, gotcha. And everybody in the chat is talking about traveling on a train because Romania is on a train. What's harder, driving 12 to 14 hours or travel on a train chair for the same amount of time?
I think the train's better because you can get up and walk around.
Yeah, I agree. Gorgeous, Ma.
Thank you.
Jeff Graham is the designer's name.
It's getting there.
So one more time, Mahnee, what was the name of the
Jeff Graham.
Jeff Graham?
He's passed. Yeah, he's passed away, but his designs are amazing, and he was like a lot of his were pioneering cuts as well too, like set the path for everyone to kind of follow. But that
Nice.
Smithsonian bar is one of my favorites. Like, can't wait to
Oh,
look
right.
up
Yeah,
there
the
and
Smithsonian
that.
bar.
Yes.
Yeah, gorgeous. Have you cut many of those?
No, I haven't cut. Like I'm, kind of waiting for the perfect piece. I've got a nice piece of smoky quartz that I've got to try with it. But yeah, it's definitely on the cards. The other one I want to try is one of those X cubes. I've seen the Smithsonian bar cut in one of those X cubes, and it looks unreal.
Oh man, and the X cube stuff it makes, a like 10 faceted stone look amazing. You know what I mean? Like it can be the simplest cut ever, and you're just like, oh, so pretty.
Disco.
Total disco ball. Yeah.
When I was doing lighting, that's like the diachronics glass is what we used to use to get all the different colors on stage. So it's a bit of a full circle there going back to my lighting career.
Right? Oh, it's so cool that there's so many corollaries of because the light play that you used to be able to harvest for a good product that you were doing for your presentations, right? For the bands that you were lighting or whatever. It's basically the same thing in like a micro fashion when you're figuring out this light play between all these facets and angles. It's so flippin' cool.
My stage just got a hell of a lot smaller.
Yeah, a little less room to work
and
there.
personalized too. That's the other thing I like about it too. It's like your own personal light show that you can carry around with you everywhere. So.
Right? Oh my gosh, and talk about fiddle fodder. Like the first pixel cut that I cut, Theo guaranteed me that I would not be able to stop looking at it. And I literally did. I took the gem jar and put it in my pocket, and I think it was in my pocket like of my sweatshirt for like 3 days. Like
nice.
I literally could not stop looking at it. And
I think I'm gonna be the same way when I do my first one.
It was so pretty. And so here we're back to this, and I was trying to put this. No, stop it. Go back. And Ryan, I don't know if you are mic'd right now, but Kid Curry wants to know if you're building a toilet. And he might be away from his Wi-Fi enough that we don't have volume, or maybe we just got volume from him.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
I had to get off the cabber chair, so I'm sitting outside. That's the vibratory flat lap. I got a piece of real thin Montana agate.
Nice.
That's on the course stage.
It's good that it's on the course stage because it's a bit pixelated right now, and so it's extra coarse.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I figured rather than turning off my camera, and since you guys were just chit-chatting, I just pointed towards the stuff I have sitting outside right now.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. We are definitely having a good little chit-chat session, and so making the viewers guess what in the world that that thing was.
I guess with the rubber tub behind it, I guess it could be something like the water bowl on a toilet, so I could see where that was coming from.
I
Right?
actually, just on a side note, tangent achieved. Those little cisterns that go on top of toilets, like the water storage with the ball valve or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they use them in a lot of lapidary clubs for the water supply for cabbing machines
I
Oh,
could see
I'll be
that.
darned. Wow,
as
what a
a
good
gravity
idea.
fed system. Yeah, yeah. So because it's you've got the lever, so it'll fill itself up, and then once the water level goes down, the float activates and it refills up again.
Mm, makes sense.
Oh, wow.
Good little hack there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a fantastic hack right there.
Yeah,
You know?
as long as you can make that transition from the bowl, since it usually has a larger hole. But yeah, I think that would work out well.
Yeah.
Nice. And Reptile Z says that that's a very aggressive toilet. I would agree.
No need to whine.
And I don't know if I get closer that rather than a motorboat, that is probably more like a trolling motor.
Uh-huh. Let's go back there. Yeah. And we've all seen something, like spinning around in the aggressive toilet, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So the whole thing does work.
Except I believe Manny's, it spins the other way.
Right?
Different
And that's-
hemispheres.
Yeah. And that's how we would know
Best
if it was
episode of The
Manny's as
Simpsons
opposed to ours.
ever.
Oh, that's great.
But I'll walk back inside now. I just
Well,
had to
I
get
think
off the small stool.
Oh yeah. I can't remember if it was Romania Rockhound or if it was Patricia's creation. Somebody was talking about getting up and changing being, one of the most important things to do in the studio, no matter how good your ergonomics are. You definitely need to stretch like every hour, or I like to use the small water buckets instead of a water feed on my lapidary equipment. All but my cab machine have just bucket feed, little buckets, and it causes me to stop. And however much I might not feel like I want to stop, I do, and it saves my butt. It does, because I would just keep on working, and then I'd wonder why I couldn't straighten my neck later. Because
Definitely.
you're, yeah.
We've
got a piece of aquamarine.
Gives you time to reflect on what you're doing as well too, and it can save you from mistakes.
Oh, that is
Having
so
a little-
true,
a little
Manny.
break.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like right before you're about to do the stupid thing, like throw the stone down onto the new new lap at the wrong angle.
Oh,
Causes me to cry a little.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is so yummy.
So this here is some aqua that apparently I decided to get from Kyle because it was so clear. So that'll be fun to make some small stones out of.
That's got some nice color to it too.
Right? So I'm hoping me and V-Dops were having a little bit of an issue with each other. But I really need to do like kind of 2 rectangles, I think, out of this. What do you think, Manny?
Yes. Oh, yes, I could see it now. With the V-Dops, blue tack. A little bit of blue tack in there.
One more time. Did you say glue tack?
Yeah, blue tack in the V. Just to hold it in the right spot.
Yeah.
And then glue the hell out of it.
Gotcha. Yeah, because
Is that what you're having trouble with the V-Dops with?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and like what you really don't want to do is get some the way through the stone and have the dop fail, um
Mm.
you're obviously, if it's in the V dop, for those of you who are watching, it is, you are cutting the crown. You've already cut the pavilion, and so the bottom is sitting in the V, and you're cutting the top. And if you lose it, then yeah, here, let me get you up on the main here, Mahnee. There we
It's
go.
a big version of it, but
Yeah. So there's your big fat V dop. And so you can imagine that you've cut the stone with a keel, like a boat, at the bottom. And that is holding it. And then you're cutting the top, which is the top of the stone, which is the crown. And so if you lose the stone at this point, you might be able to reorient it and maybe recut the crown a little bit if you need to. But it's really a bummer because you're on the like final stretch. And you just don't want to have a mistake happen on the final stretch. You're
you've usually only got like a small amount of
excited
excess
about
that
finishing.
you allocated
So
for
thank you for,
mistakes.
yeah. And so Tara's Treasures is saying, somewhere I have an aquamarine necklace that my uncle made me. Oh, that is so cool. He's passed now, but he was a faceter back in the day. Wow, that is such a cool heirloom. And hopefully it's just tucked away in a safe spot so that you'll find it one day when we all do this organization thing that we were talking about at the beginning of this live stream. But yeah, thank you for sharing that, Tara. I think that those are the greatest treasures, are the ones that we have these pieces that are passed down through the generations, and you might know even who cut the stone. And what a cool thing, Mahnee, that like stuff that you're cutting now will become somebody's heirloom at some point, don't you think?
I really like the idea of that. It's like I've made a lot of art over the years that is perishable, and this stuff can stand the test of time. So that's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, if you think about like the civilizations that we know about, there it's all because they left rock behind.
Yep.
Like rock building or rock artifacts. That's like really kind of the thing that has a continuum more than anything else on the planet. And so the fact that we get to make these things out of it, and someday, they might be found tens of thousands of years down the line, who knows? And it's your hand that did that. I mean, it's a neat legacy.
Yep. I think so too. I think it's pretty cool.
And apparently I did buy one more piece of Petersite. I guess I really didn't have
Well,
any
that's got a bit of a gold
control.
to it.
Yeah, there's some gold in there too. And then you can see the sort of rolling flash of the chatoyant see-through there. And it's coming from that side on account that I have an angled light over there. So it looks like, yeah. What a cool, it looks like pool water to me, like the ocean or pool
So is that
water.
any relation to Tiger Eye or Tiger Iron? Or is it a
Um,
completely different?
I'm actually not sure. Ma, do you have some deets on the Petersite perchance?
It's the same. I mean, it's all SiO2. There's some slightly different things that happen to form them, but there's obviously very, very, very big similarities. Because if you look at Petersite can come in red, gold, and blue, just like Tiger Eye can. So there's got to be something there that it's what other kind of like thing was around when it was doing its thing. I don't know, but I've always looked at them and said there's got to be a relationship between these two things in some way.
Yeah.
Like
It,
they look
the
so similar.
Chatoyancy part looks a little bit like the asbestos fibers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's something similar. I think Kyle tried to look it up, and the AI on it like said two exact things opposite at the same time. So, and
no way.
Just covering the bets.
Yeah, shocker. But yeah, there's similarities, and yeah, that's all I know. I don't know details, but that occurred to me because I was like, there's got to be. They just look so much alike. It's like Peter's side is just kind of like the chaotic version of Tiger Eye.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, it's not. It doesn't look like it's more like it looks a little bit more brachiated than it is kind of like seamy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And possibly in my opinion, and I don't like, I only have an opinion of this. This is not educated, but it seems like the Peter's eye is finer than the tiger's eye in its
okay.
like the structure of the chatoyancy. All the pieces that I have anywhere are finer in their matrix than the
little fibers are finer. Yeah, they are. I think you're right.
Cool.
Just an observation, but it might have just been all the ones that I had. But I do see that as a corollary across my collection, which I'm supposed to not have, but I guess I do. It's all for business.
Did you get on a roll when Amy was selling them one day?
I don't know if it was Amy. It might have been, but yeah, I had been looking forward to getting a piece because I really wanted to pair it with aqua and the blue topaz. And I accidentally just didn't really stop at one, apparently. I can't even remember.
Let it roll.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Claim. I mean, Mud doesn't know what this sort of thing is like.
One too many Steinkerns that night.
Apparently there were some Steinkerns involved, and yeah, Karen was feeling good. And luck be a lady and all that stuff happened. So but yeah, what's kind of fun is that we'll all get a chance to watch some of this stuff come about and become whatever jewelry pieces. And gosh, if I do that halo ring, I'll definitely bring you guys along. Yeah, that'd be so much fun. And let's see, and you say Rick can go off the rails, LOL. I bet none of us can pass you about buying stones. Right, Rick is probably like one of the better, and I know Dave Liu over here, he's like a like top shelf getter and gifter both. There's some folks over there that work hard at making sure that they have all of the goods and that everybody else does. Lady Diane is another one, and Meg Mac. Yeah, there's just some really, really generous folks over on Kyle's, and Kyle too. He like I get what appear to be accidental rock deposits in my boxes. Very, very sweet. And Reptile Z is saying more highly SiO2, maybe quartzier, so to say, so tighter expression of the same light. And that probably is replay or reply, but the light might be replying to itself. It could be in conversation. I will agree with that. Yeah. And so, yeah, you were talking about the difference of how come the Lake County quartz diamonds were a different kind of quartz. Do you want to like touch upon that really quick for everybody, because maybe Peter's has something similar going on?
As far as I can figure out, and there's not a ton of information out there, it's that there was quartz that grew and did its thing, and it was really close to active volcanic activity, and so it was getting like to the point of almost completely melting and then stopping. And so the result was that the quartz is extremely clear, and it has I think it's slightly higher on the Mohs scale because it's just kind of gotten that extra. I mean, it's like it almost melted. Like when you
Yeah.
find them, literally like little curved. Well, let's see. I have some, so maybe I can find a good example. But they look like they're half melted. Hold on one
Oh,
second.
wow.
And would that
Yeah.
make them metamorphic in a way?
Like almost, because I don't know. I don't know like where that line is. But
Yeah.
let's like this is. Can it? Will it? Can we? Oh goodness.
Yeah, right there.
But see how it's like
Yeah.
this is how it is. It's not broken. I mean, there are chips off of it, but you'll see where there'll almost be a point, but it's like it's melty.
And it could easily be mistaken for slag glassite as well too.
One more
Right. I
time?
mean, you feel like when you're collecting these that somebody dropped a glass bottle.
Yeah.
Be-
That's what it looks like.
But it's quartz, and it's like all of their facets are kind of melted, and it's like you'll find the terminations, but they just don't look like normal quartz anymore. It's like the temperature got so high, so they were formed as normal quartz, and then this happened to them, is what I believe, and I could be wrong.
Yep.
Because I tried doing some research and there wasn't a ton of information out there.
I know.
Yeah. Go ahead.
A good person to ask might be Nate from Quest for Details.
Oh yeah, I mean I've heard him talk about it, and I haven't heard him go into detail about it, but he's who I got the location from, to where to find him.
Oh
There's no
gosh,
dirt
you got some big ones in there.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, they're fun. I sent my biggest ones to Karen and Theo to facet, so we'll see what happens to those beauties.
Nice.
Well, yeah,
But,
this is one of them.
we should get a box together for Mahnee that we can all like put stuff into and like go in on shipping.
Oh, I agree with that. Yes.
Give them a care package.
Yeah. Yeah, before we can never send things to Australia anymore. If that ever should happen. So here, oh, there's some. Woo. That's nice.
Those are all the ones that's been found.
That's a jar of happiness right there.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
Good,
awesome.
Karen.
So this is pixelated at the moment. But yeah, this is the Lake County diamond that I did for the oh, come on. I'm sorry, it's all pixelated where I'm sitting, so hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. Yeah, which is, like trying to show a tiny faceted gem with a bunch of pixelation isn't really all that gratifying. But yeah, this is a Lake County diamond that Ma sent me that was my rebate on the first one that didn't agree with wanting to be cut the way I was cutting it. And I'm going to blame it on the stone and not the user. Ha ha ha. But yeah, this is the oppositional defiance cut again. You saw them all three sitting in that little gem jar, and this is it out of the jar. And so what Mo was talking about with actually the Lake County diamonds, they have a really high, gorgeous clarity. And so their refractive, capability is just stunning. It's like diamond good.
Does it have a higher RI than normal quartz, or?
That's a good question. I don't know if it's actually got a higher refractive index, but that was one of the reasons why I chose this particular cut. Was it's a bright cut, but it's also like set for quartz, but also up through, I think, like 1.5 to 1.6 or something like that. And so, it kind of it covered all of the sweet spots for what I was hoping,
Same.
especially if it did. Yeah, exactly. If it did go up. And those of you who are listening, for different stones, you just change the angle of especially the pavilion's the most important. The crown is nice. It's the frosting on the cake. You want good facets there, but your pavilion is what's starting the conversation of the light going through the stone. And so it's the catcher throwing back to the pitcher, and you need the right angle on those cuts, or else you don't get the conversation started inside the stone with all the light happening. So
The light ends up passing through the stone, not bouncing back if you
right.
don't get it right.
Yeah. So you can adjust it. So if you cut one stone and you go like, you know what, that didn't capture. And when I say one stone, say one quartz or one feldspar, like a sunstone. And if you feel like that cut didn't capture nicely, then you can adjust you can use the same cut and just adjust the angle of the cut so that you can, bring it in so that the light stays. It's very cool, so sciencey and artsy at the same time. I love it.
Yep. It is kind of that the joining point where art and science do meet. Like there's a lot of like correlations between art and science a lot of the time, and yeah, I think
For
fascinating is
sure.
like yeah.
Well,
It's like,
and then yeah, Manny's like totally ringing the bell on that. And I think that there is like a mastery level when you get to a certain point where you can do cuts on like not necessarily what you would call a freeform cut where it's just different angles all over the place, which you can also do. What is it? Atelier, musliner, or I don't. I'm saying it so wrong, but there is a professional cutter and jewelry people out of Germany. You can follow them on Instagram, and they make the coolest actual freeform faceted gemstones. I'll share a link over on the Discord. But also, you can, like, you've maybe seen Justin Prim just take a stone and start cutting. And he has in mind what cut he wants to do, but he tailors the whole thing to the stone. And I believe he starts with the crown and then does the pavilion afterwards, right?
they do, yeah. They with the handpiece and the Chenpeg faceting, which are two different machines from the a mast machine. They cut they do preforms, which is something I'm still trying to get my head around. We talked about that the other day. Is like, is there a need to do a preform? But when you're using the hand pieces and the jam pegs, it is advantageous because you get, by doing the preform, you get the crown partially cut, and that's what they glue the dops to for the first round of cutting. Sorry, other way around. Sorry, they glue the pavilion because with some with gluing. Am I getting it all back to front? I might be getting it all back to front. But yeah, like for the transfer purposes, apparently it makes it a little bit easier.
Yes. And so I'm not sure if doing it that way actually makes it so that you end up being able to have more creativity, but he has more creativity, whichever, if it's because of having to start the way that he does and finish the way that he does, he ends up having, a little bit more creative flex on his cut. And that would be amazing to be of a level where, you can kind of flow with the cut instead of reading a diagram, or, in Gem Cut Studio, you can make up your own, which is very creative, and then cut it and see if you like it, that sort of thing. And let me get I'm going to paste a link that probably won't be linkable, but that is, if you want to cut and paste that, folks, that is the people, those are the people that I'm talking about. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous cut
cool.
stones. Yeah, and the jewelry that they do around them, I mean, it's very understated. It's very contemporary and just is the pimp for the stone. It shows off the stone. Here's like this gorgeous thing. I mean, it's kind of
Ooh.
next level what I
Th-
want to do. Like at some point when I grow up in the world, I would love to be able to cut stone like that.
Yep, that's some eye candy right there. I just had a quick look.
Right? No, I know. Like go down a rabbit hole, a proper rabbit hole. Everybody go follow them on Instagram because they do post quite a bit and they go to the shows. And so they'll show you what they're doing at the show and stuff like that. And it's a family. And I mean, it's just, it gives you all of the right feels for faceting eye candy that is off the Richter different. Yeah. So and Reptile Z is like, I don't think I'll ever grow up. I know, me neither.
These are the guys that did the that big aquamarine.
Oh
The
yeah,
Don
and he's
Pedro.
Har something. He's taking a break because I think his
Okay.
wife was sick. Hargrave or something like that.
He's the best, and I can never remember his name either. Dalen Hargrave.
Yeah,
Dalen.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Dalen.
I love him.
I'm looking it up right now. So
Yeah, he does amazing work.
okay, yeah, Dalen Hargrave. How did we do that, Ma? We brained together.
Yeah, he's my I'm so inspired by him. Like
Right?
I want to be him a little bit when I grow up. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
I can never remember his name. I mix it up and get it backwards and parts of the first name and parts of the last name. But yeah, I can always Google him and find him. And that's all that you really need to be able to do, right?
Right. And Doug is saying, meanwhile, Ma is quietly updating her journal plans to take over the world. Yes. One gem at a time, one rock at a time. It's Pinky in the brain.
Right.
Love it. And and here's Tara saying we need someone to take notes during the lives of all the stuff that needs to be posted to the Discord. Oh, no kidding. And she's like, and not me. I'm terrible at notes. I'll try to remember.
I was going to say, I think she just volunteered herself and then I kept reading.
Right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, oh, that would be so nice, Tara. Not so much. Not fair. Not gonna happen. But we've got Mo here working on this here cab. We've got Ryan over there working on another cab. And we are going on shoes. Do it. Thank you. And I've been wrestling the window that's open for StreamYard this whole time, but we are going on 4 hours. We're about to hit 6 o'clock. I don't know if AZRE is doing a live stream tonight or what, but I think we should maybe put a fork in it. Plant the flag that we have absolutely conquered Sunday in such a massive way. Thank you so much,
Well, Sunday
everybody.
and Monday, because
I'm in the right. We've conquered 2 days. Right? I love it, Manny. I'll take it. That's a win. And so I want to thank Ryan and Ma and Manny for coming and hanging out. And then I would love to thank all of you guys that have been hanging out in the chat. Also, just working on that creative soup with our solutions for storage and, helping out with your hacks. And so Kid and Patrick and Tara and Doug and Dave Lou and Reptile Z and Patricia, all y'all that came by today. Romania on your long train trip. I'm so glad that we could keep you on a train. And so before the internet crashes on me for the holiday weekend, I want to wish everybody a wonderful holiday weekend. Yeah, we're all freezing at different times, actually. It's happening. But cheers. It's true. Cheers to you. Thank you for
Thanks,
coming this
Karen.
evening. You bet. It's been a
Thanks for
blast
having
hanging
us,
out
Karen.
with you guys.
A twoies. Oh, crikey.
Yeah,
Love.
and I'm glad that we even got some. We'll just link in the Discord and pictures and the things that we promised today. And hopefully we'll see you over on AZRE's channel next, or whoever wants to go live can do that. Have a great Labor Day, says Dave. And cheers from Patricia and Mr. Chubby Hubby. You're still here too. That was like, I think, one of the first people that said hello in our chat before we even got started today. You guys all deserve a medal for hanging out for a super long live stream. Thank you so much. And Allison, you too. But thank you. We'll see you all next time. Cheers to you, and we'll catch you on the flip side of the rock, eh?
Right.
Thanks, Karen.
We'll post
Thank
pics later.
you.